area. That's he got the ball.
Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Here it is going to be Jack and Dave leading you through the last and final preseason friendly before we descend into the madness, into the chaos that is going to be another Premier League, happily Europa League, as well as many other campaigns. We are going to be looking forward to this season. We've been warming up to it. We've been getting a sense of this Tottenham Hotspur squad. And this is the final chance to get a look at how they look and how they've been preparing before we descend into that madness. But Dave, I thought people really enjoyed the pre-match build-up from earlier. Hopefully people got pumped up ahead of this one. It is the return of Harry Kane. I guess in our case, maybe sadly, the return of Eric Dyer. I'm not sure if we care as much about that situation. But Harry Kane returns. Dominic Solanke has been signed. And we get to see another game of Spurs. Like I said, before we start having to go really crazy during these watch-alongs and start to go mad like we usually do, maybe this is our final game that we just get to see our boys just play, get used to kind of the shape of things, get used to this Postecoglou system even more. I don't even know if this time's as much of like a fitness exercise. I think it's going to be more tactical exercises. You would like to think of them just continuing to understand how things work. And I'm looking forward to today's game, and hopefully the crowd is pumped up. We saw that Lee Neri is celebrating her birthday. She's there at the game. I think Dan Coy said he might be going to the game as well.
Adrian Brown, he's at the game.
That's lovely to hear as well. Adrian definitely deserves it. I know he's been hard at work probably this summer. And I hope plenty of other Spurs fans that, do often join us during these watch-alongs get to enjoy, this final game before, like I said, we go into a big Premier League campaign. It's a huge season for Ange Postecoglou and the boys. But thank you so much, everybody, for picking us as your watch-along destination. And if you can for us straight away, if you do enjoy these watch-alongs, feel free to smash the like button. It does help us out a lot. And then also as well, feel free to get in those comments. Let us know your thoughts on this lineup that's going to be in front of you. Because, Dave, we do have Vicario in goals. Pedro Porro at right back. Dragishin at right side at center back. Davies at left side at center back. Spence getting maybe his first start ever, I wonder, in a Spurs shirt. Maybe I'm wrong and I can't remember, but I wonder if it is actually his first ever start. And he's playing as a left back. You have Pop Matassar in the team with Basuma together. I think they can be a good combo, those two. James Maddison, someone who we've been critical of. You'd hope that he starts kind of finding form again, and this is a good opportunity to do so against a Bayern Munich squad. Then you have Brennan Johnson on the right, similar thing that I would say to Maddison. You'd hope that he starts warming up into things and starts proving people wrong, but right about now. Kulusevski up top once again, maybe one of your final chances to get to see your man Decky, your defender, your favorite up top, with Sonny where he belongs, where we cherish him, where we love him, where again, Dave, I think, has been vouching for him in his best position out on the left wing. And Kulusevski, strangely enough, has been used twice in a row as the lineup cover photo, which I wonder if there's anything, behind that. We'd love to read too deep into things, Dave, but I wonder why Kulusevski's been used twice on the cover photo.
I think it proves a point. He ain't going anywhere, despite many fans saying they'd cash in on him to go to Napoli. So I think that's a huge plus. But look, first of all, before I get into maybe my quick thoughts on the lineup, I want to say it's an absolutely fantastic day out there for football. And I really do hope that the players can go out there and enjoy it, play some good stuff, allow us fans to be able to enjoy it as well. It's probably one of the last weekends, like Jack said, where it's stress-free. Starting next week is when the stress really comes in. So I really hope we go and enjoy it. And one thing I'll really be looking for today, actually, is not so much fitness, Jack, but sharpness. Postecoglou said they weren't sharp last week against Bayern because the amount of training that they endured over the 10 days and the humidity and stuff like that. However, for this game, I do need to see some sharpness heading into that Leicester game. Look, when it comes to the back line, I know many people are worried about Davies in there, Spence in there, but you would presume Adoji walks in, Van de Ven and Romero will all return for the Leicester game, and we should see them at least get minutes in the second half. Pedro Porro, for me, has been one of the sharpest this preseason. I hope that continues because I think he can have a very big season in a Tottenham shirt this season, especially with the likes of Solanke being added in. It gives him that vocal point to be able to show even more of his attacking abilities. And plus, what I really like about him so far, Jack, is he's getting more used to that inverted role, and he seems to be picking up more opportunities where he can unleash that right peg.
Yeah. We love to see him use both feet because Kulusevski is so good with the one foot, but he does tend to lean on it a bit too much. And as a striker, an important component is to be able to use both feet. It doesn't always have to be with the passing or anything like that or link-up play. A lot of times it's actually just to do with finishing, right? You need to be able to show your defender that you can finish quite well with both feet, and maybe that is an area that Kulusevski could technically work on. And I also wonder, with kind of the striker situation, we now have kind of the security of having two very similar strikers in Dominic Solanke as well as Richarlison. But is Ange Postecoglou going to keep Kulusevski kind of in mind as sort of this third option, or is another option up top as well? Because he is slightly different to the Solankes and the Richarlisons, where he is a physical player. Kulusevski, he can also hold the ball up. He can play with his back to goal, but sort of in a different way, where he'd actually rather drop a bit deeper, pick up the ball still, and maybe even draw a defender a bit further away to do that. And then also has that kind of number 10 like eye for a pass, where he can kind of see things that maybe not every striker can. Not every striker can, meg their defender, and play like a splitting through ball. And that's something that Kulusevski has shown us this preseason. And he's combined really well with Sonny as well up top so far this preseason. So it's actually a good problem to have, something that we keep continuing to say. I think having three players like that actually to pick from. It's actually security is the word I'm thinking about right now. I feel more secure in our striking options now that Kulusevski could be kept in mind as still another option.
And look, I think it's important to know, if Richarlison has another campaign like he has had the last two where he's missing a lot, you will need Kulusevski to step in there. And I think that's maybe within a view just in case that happens. Also, I think one thing you'll take away from it is that Postecoglou probably sees him a lot more centrally, whether that's through the middle as a striker or in that midfield. I think that's where long-term he'll probably be battling for positions. And I think a lot of the reason why he's played up front rather than Son is because Son is going to be a left winger this year, and I think it's more important to get him back out there this preseason, get the minutes in the legs, let him feel that funness of being a winger again, and hit the ground running this season rather than experimenting or persisting with him through the middle because Richarlison isn't available. So I think Andrew's done the right job there. Where I'm a bit disappointed is, why are we seeing Brennan Johnson again? I know people are going to say, Dave, drop it, but I'm sorry. The guy let us down last season, and this season he hasn't done anything of note to alleviate my fears. Jack, you know me, I like to work off meritocracy, and I think that's where we have to get to at Tottenham. I'd like to see Mikey Moore be given that opportunity within this first team environment to see what he can do. It might even elevate him to be even more of a special player. And when it comes to the midfield, Jack, I reckon that's probably the midfield three that will start against Leicester, and that's what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, very well put there. Let's just quickly go through the lineup card, though, as well. Let me just pull it up here for you guys in just a moment. Just bear with me, because with the lineup, it's good to point out, who is on the bench. And we have Brandon Austin in goals. Luka Gunter is the other goalkeeper as an option there. Wonder if any of them will get opportunities in the second half. You have Destiny Udogie finally back into the squad after a long injury, and hopefully he is recovering quickly, because we will need him this season. And at the moment, Spurs, they only have Jed Spence as, I think okay version of kind of a left back. He didn't play too well, I remember, in the last fixture against Bayern Munich as a left back. Here's an opportunity for him to redeem himself and get more used to playing in that position. He's really starred, and he's really played so well as a competition for Pedro Porro, but it wasn't really as good at left back for me. And it's being harsh, but I think it's also just something to point out that we still do need a signing there, I think, for this upcoming season, because I just don't recognize Ben Davies as one of them. We have Christian Romero, though, one of my favorites. He's back in the squad. That's good to see. I don't even know if he needs the minutes. I think it's just good to see him, on the bench. Van de Ven, on the other hand, maybe he might need a minute or two, just because he didn't have as long of a summer as Romero did. So it's probably good to see him, still play in the squad, kind of remember what it's like to play at this sort of speed and also under this style of system, because over in the Netherlands, he was playing as like a backup left back basically for that team. So he does need to probably get some minutes today if Postecoglou can afford it. Jamie Donnelly, love to see him still in the squad, and I'd love to see him still get some minutes at some point in this game. Same thing with Oliver Skipp. Oliver Skipp is someone who has been used a lot this preseason, but I wonder if Ange Postecoglou might lean on some other players to use off the bench, like Archie Gray. He can get a shot maybe back in that number 6 position. He did go with Basuma instead. I wonder if there's anything to read into that Basuma still has that number 6 position locked down in the Tottenham Hotspur squad. You have Lucas Bergvall, the blonde bombshell, as I think King Hoddle called him in the comments, or maybe he was talking about Kate. You never know. But Bentancur as well is in the team. Definitely want to see Bentancur be given some minutes, because he felt like he had a decently long summer, but sort of like Van de Ven's. I think he should have come back maybe a bit sooner rather than later, and he needs to get some minutes in his legs. You have Alfie Devine, who's really
Mm,
shined really well throughout this preseason campaign. He's a mystery about whether Postecoglou wants to keep him around or not, because I think he hasn't done anything wrong this preseason, Devine. He's actually done a whole lot right to make people think about him and to make people remember him. But you do wonder what sort of
mm,
Ange's plans are for him, what Spurs' plans are for him, that sort of thing. Mikey Moore, the star, the next Harry Kane of the academy, some people have
mm.
labeled him. Our own Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old superstar, he should get some minutes, definitely on that right wing at some point. Solomon, somebody who I'm surprised to even see on the bench here, because I think he is going to be out the door sometime soon. There's been a lot of rumors of us trying to get rid of him. Timo Weenie, he's probably going to be kind of the backup left winger to Sonny, you would imagine, kind of the majority of this upcoming season as kind of a late impact sub. And then Will Lancashire, who's also done pretty well this preseason, but you do wonder, what his plan is for his
Mm.
development this upcoming season. But Dave, before we get to the lovely, lovely chat and all the people that have joined us
Mm.
this afternoon, this morning, this evening, whatever time it is for you, we do appreciate you guys picking us as your watch along destination. But any thoughts on the bench, just quickly?
Yeah, I think when you were going through it, Jack, for me, I think when you see the likes of Donnelly and Moore out of and potentially Gunter out of all the academy products that we've seen that we've spoke about that have been given an opportunity, I wonder is it telling us that these are the ones that are probably going to be kept around in the squad? Because he has narrowed it down. You don't see Hall in there, you don't see Phillips in there, you don't see Robson in there, you don't see certain other players in there, Abbott for instance. So I wonder is Donnelly, Moore, and potentially Lancashire and Devine going to make this squad, or they're the ones that he's looking at potentially making this squad come the end of the transfer window. So that's one thing I think we can take from that. I think we really know what youngsters to probably focus on, which I think is a huge takeaway from that bench. Because he could have had a lot more on the bench, or he could have had a lot more youngsters around, and he hasn't. As the preseason's gone back, and as he's got more senior players back, they've been whittled out. Maybe Lancashire probably will go out on loan as soon as Solanke is here. By the way, he is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, folks. He's been seen in and around the ground signing autographs for youngsters, which is fair play to him. Good to see, that they're recognising the fans. Harry Kane and Eric Dyer also got their little presentation. Harry Kane got a huge round of applause, so that's good to see. And also our own team, as soon as they came out for a lineup, has been very well received by the crowd. So all in all, it's going to be a fun evening, guys, and hopefully we come out the right side.
Yeah, indeed. So many lovely people in the house here. Just Girl Loves Spurs from the previous stream did renew that
Yeah.
membership, and she did a great job on the pre-match build-up as well. And when King Hoddle was talking about the blonde bombshell, I just couldn't decide if he was talking about Barrick Fowler or he was talking about Kate there. Mark, first comment. Really appreciate you tuning in nice and early, Mark. Saying slowly warming to Solanke. Watch the new video from 442 on him fitting our system has changed my mind. Listen, I got to watch that video because so many
Great
people
video.
have mentioned it. But a selfish plug here, please. Everybody, check out the scout report because it's one of the prouder ones I've ever done because I had to do a lot of defending because I know that Solanke is not necessarily the most, let's say, encompassing or not the whole fan base is exactly behind the signing. So I think I had to do a lot more convincing in my scout report than I usually did. And I have a soft spot for Solanke. So I encourage you to check it out, Mark, if you haven't already. And also even Dave and I before that did one of those kind of opinion pieces, podcasty videos where we were talking about, is he actually the missing piece to Ange Ball? And so I encourage you to check out one of those as well. Gabrielle One saying, big up the Irish Yid and the Happy Clapper. Well, tell us with the Happy Clapper. I'm proud to be one, Gabrielle One. Absolutely proud. Don't take any shame in it. Spurs GCTV is a member and really appreciate your support. If you're happy and you're clapping, raise your hands. We'll always do that, Spurs GCTV. Danny Darko's in here. Oi, oi, koi's not expecting too much from this game. No one wants to get injured unless we stick the kids on who could be playing for a place in the first 11. Hopefully, Udoji gets minutes. Need him back as soon as possible. Great point about actually injuries and whatnot, right? Where some of the regular starters, like maybe, or regular players like Pedro Porro, a Dragashin, Basuma, Madison, Johnson, Kulusevski's son, just want to see them kind of get 45 minutes in their legs, but we don't want to expend them too much in a game like this. And we do still want to see the youngsters get their last minutes in preseason to still impress Ange Postecoglou. That's a very good point. Darren Kilbane is in here as well. Really appreciate you tuning in. Darren, we also have DJ Samuel celebrating 21 months as a fan show member, our resident Tottenham fan in the Tottenham area, representing the Irish Hotspur in good name. And he's been a fan show member for 21 months. And he says, hype. Well, DJ, I'm hyped about the upcoming season. This one, I think, as always, Dave and I will read a lot into this game, but I'm actually, again, a bit relaxed about this game because it's good vibes. Harry Kane is coming back. It's in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fans are probably feeling good, getting the beers in, getting, the all the new kind of, food that maybe the Spurs club have approved, like the kimchi bowls and stuff like that I was really jealous of. It looks like they've gone for a really nice menu for this upcoming season. It's just good vibes before we go into, I think, the real madness that can be the Premier League season. But really appreciate your support, DJ. Anything to say to DJ here, Dave?
Yeah, no, look, first of all, really appreciate the support. I know he's a Tottenham boy from in and around the area. Hopefully you get to a couple of games this year, DJ, and me and Jack will be over there later on in the season, and hopefully we get to meet you up, my man. It'd be great to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have MV Joker Davis Edwards in the house, back from work and coming to watch the two greatest Spurs YouTubers out there. Way too kind to us, Edward, my man. He's saying the pre-match was enjoyable. It kept me sane during the 1.5 hours of my shift. So thank you, guys. Well, I'm glad we could do that for you, Edward, in some fashion. Take your mind off of things and away from the stresses of work. And also really appreciate you just continuing to support us in the way that you do, man. You've been really, really a great addition to this community. Sean Maddox.
Also caught our new intro.
Yeah, that's God. He's a sharp one, isn't he, Dave?
Sharp.
He's a sharp guy, and as well as another sharp guy in the house just after him, Sean Maddox, saying won't be able to stay for long as I am meeting friends at 1, but here to enjoy my car ride if the internet holds out. Well, Shawnee, just like Edward, I would say you've been with us for a long, long time, but since you've been coming on the fan shows, since you've been around with us, I think you've been a wonderful addition to this community of ours. And best of luck to the internet for you, sir. I know how it feels sometimes, where you have a little question marks about it. So best of luck to you, sir, and do appreciate you still throwing on your comments and supporting us. And he says a 3-2 prediction for Spurs. I like that. It's going to be a hectic game then, Shawnee. Stevie Frazier's in here as well. Want to see better today. Big ups, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Ribsy85 saying, let's effing go. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Ribsy85, the one and only, the Mount Rushmore of this community. King Hoddle's in here. Another Mount Rushmore. Big up to King Hoddle. Elvis G. Welcome to the Flat Cap Army, Elvis G. Great name, by the way. Love your also... your profile pic. It looks like that's an anime profile pic, if I can't tell. So maybe you're excited about the Dominic Solanke signing. Really appreciate you, sir. And thanks for coming on and picking us. Maximum's in here. Chris F. We have Lars. We have Shem 10. Hey, Dave and Jack. Finally, preseason is almost over. Really up for this one. We saw the lineup and then remember Dyer's being honored as well. Yeah, don't want to get into that too much if I can avoid it, Shem. Thank you for picking us, though, my man. Skunky Works is in here. Really appreciate you, Skunk. We have Adrian Brown. Big up, great feeling in the stadium. We will beat Bayern Munich. There's a good vibe. I'm really glad to hear that, Adrian Brown, that there is a good vibe going around. We also have so many others. Charles Preston, regular gamer. Just scrolling down here, Ange Ball, and then we have Dark Sun G with a super chat saying, did you see Solanke's first interview or not yet? Sadly, not yet, Dark Sun G. Been a busy man the last kind of couple of days with everything from outside of, the YouTube channel to inside the YouTube channel. It's a busy week ahead for Dave and I, trying to pull everything together just in time for the upcoming season, for the members, for the content in general. So we're all over the shop right now, but we will definitely sit down and watch that interview. And I'm also thinking about even doing some sort of reaction to some of the, Solanke's highlights and things like that. We'll just see if we're even able to do that type of thing without getting in trouble. But I really like, Solanke. And as I told you, I have a huge soft spot for the guys. So I'm really excited about this signing. And I did, though, get to see the anime sort of YouTube short that they put out just recently to announce the signing. And I thought it was pretty clever. I thought it was pretty cute as well. And Solanke just looks like kind of a funny guy who seems to have that sort of kind of positive kind of sense of humor about things. And I think he definitely is going to fit into the vibe of the squad in general, but sadly not Dark Sun G. So I will update you on that as best I can. And I maybe missed it in the chat or something, but at some point, man, I want to see what you thought of my random shout out of that Korean player, Kim Shin-wook, if you even know that guy, because I thought maybe you would have found that pretty entertaining. Stevie Webb saying, big up, Dave and Jack. What a pleasure it is to be back with you, the Irish Hotspur family. Love to everyone in the chat. Steve, that's really kind of you to say, man. And I'm really just
great to have him back.
Yeah, it's really
Steve Army strong.
Steve Army is secretly very strong. Maybe even not even
Steve D, Stevie Fraser, Stevie Webb, loads of them.
yeah, and Stevie D, he's probably happy to have his own team of Steves, around him as well as
Mm,
Stevie Webb here. And thanks for
uh,
even, it is a family around here. I like to think that our community is very special and unique with the way that we support each other, the way that we ride the roller coasters of being a Tottenham Hotspur
mm,
fan. I think a lot of you guys are absolute, just great
mm.
individuals in this community, and you hold it together strong. It's not just Dave and I, holding it together. You guys hold us together pretty much. So thank you so much, Steve, for your support. Just a
Big
girl
up,
who loves
big
Spurs.
up.
Yeah, sorry, Dave,
Just,
I keep
just,
cutting
just
you
quickly,
off.
Jack, I just want to welcome in Zeddy. I want to welcome in Tottenham Tom as well. Derek Hutchinson, always great to see you. Slow Jamrod, Greeny, Mr. Edwardson as well. Who else am I missing? Ange Ball, great to see you as always in with us. The Belgian Hotspur as well. Danny Darko, great to see you. Lundstrom as well, great to see all of you guys. And also we have Mr. Scott Brandon as well, great to see you guys.
Yeah, and I see Martin Walton in there as well. I see AE, Solar Life Portugal. Thank you guys for tuning in. Daniel Larson, the one and only. Hopefully you're staying cool today, as hopefully Dave is
Yeah,
too. I know you guys been experiencing
I'm
some hot
melting.
weather. Dark Sun G, or sorry, just a moment. Kate though, sending in a super sticker, and she's just sending some love. And she's kind of gone for something slightly different to maybe the anime super sticker that we had earlier from DJ Samuel. Let me know what you thought of that one, Kate, because I liked that one from DJ. But really appreciate your efforts on the pre-match build-up earlier. You and Jimbo really stirred up some great conversation. And what I
Yeah.
like about Kate too is that she's a great person and she gives her opinions. She doesn't get that, deterred by other people disagreeing. And a lot of times, I think with Kate as well, she just has a really good kind of vibe about her when talking about Spurs. Just an easy person to talk to, if I may add, when chatting about everything Tottenham. So everybody check out her lovely channel, Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, as you see it on screen there. And also you'll be running into the wonderful Jimbo over there too. Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs. But thank you so much for the support today, Kate. And thanks so much for coming on the pre-match build-up.
Absolute pleasure to have you. I think Kate, sorry, is a great asset. So thank you very much, Kate. She gives her opinions, and that's all you can ask for.
And Dark Sun G says today is the first time. Today is the first time Dominic Gray Bergvall get to see the fans at home. Dominic
Yeah,
Solanke, I wonder if he is in the stadium. You'd imagine he is, like somewhere around the stadium, in this game. Maybe watching it from one of the press boxes. He's probably being forced to sit next to Daniel Levy, maybe Dark Sun G, for this game. With Archie Gray, right? He gets to be in front of the Spurs crowd. What I love about Archie Gray is that Leeds United is a huge club as well, and the fact that he still showed, despite being a Leeds, kid and a Leeds Academy product, he had a lot of praise for the fact that Spurs are also a huge club, and he saw it as a place for him to really progress his career. So I know I haven't seen Solanke's interview yet, Dark Sun G, but I really liked Archie Gray's interview. I thought he had a lot of really interesting things to say. I really liked what he had to say personally. Dark Sun G. And then also, he's saying that Bergvall gets to see the fans at home today, and that's exactly what we
mm,
want to see. Just the blonde bombshell, Archie Gray. Those two are also really funny together. They seem to have a good vibe between the two of them. So I'm really looking forward to them growing together, as Spurs players. And they really are such exceptional talents, and they look a lot older than what they actually are. The way they carry themselves, the way they talk about, kind of
mm,
football in general, just their own kind of confidence in themselves, and even them being very humble. Like Archie Gray is very humble, as well as also a Lucas Bergvall. Lucas Bergvall has a bit of cheek to him, I will add. He's got a bit of sense of
mm.
humor. But yeah, I really like those guys, not only as footballers, but as people. They seem like really good guys.
Also, so I've seen some people call them the new Kane and Son, Jack. They could definitely prosper into that sort of relationship on the pitch in future. What I will say is you got two young guys, very similar age, making the same move at the same time. So they're definitely going to be friends for years to come. But especially Bergvall. This is what I think is going to go on and surprise a lot of people. He's got that cheekiness. He looks comfortable in this environment. And I've heard other players come out and speak about the jokes that Bergvall's already having with them. I'm super excited. I hope the Spurs fans, well, we know the Spurs fans are going to absolutely adore them and receive them well. I can't wait to see Bergvall take that pitch today, Dark Sunji. I really can't. I really love this kid.
And I think maybe we missed this because we just only turned on the stream just now. But I think someone said that maybe the three of those guys that Dark Sun G just mentioned earlier got to go out
Yeah.
and kind of say hello to the fans. So that's a nice touch, actually, by Spurs. And Dark Sun G, as always, we're a little bit behind you, my man. You're always a very sharp guy, and we're a little bit behind on things. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you got to see that. I mean, maybe I'll hopefully get a replay of that at some point. But just quickly, and definitely feel like we shouldn't be doing this quickly because
We're
Tyler,
underway.
yeah, we're underway here and we just gotten kicked off. So sync up with us if you can here, everyone. But Tyler celebrating 22 months as a fan show member, saying, come on, you Spurs, let's get the win today and get momentum going into the season. Hopefully we bring in a winger and a CDM. Regardless, always excited, though, for a season. Tyler, like Sean, like Edward, you've been a wonderful addition to this community. But just
One
a moment
second,
here,
Tottenham on the
Spurs,
top.
they're in
On the
behind you, and they
breakaway,
score here.
Johnson. Oh, you bloody useless little shitbag. Fuck me. Oh, come on, Kulusevski. What a finish. What a bloody finish from Kulu.
Oh my lord, it's Kulu. He's already
My
silenced the
Swedish
Bayern fans.
Viking.
He's
Come
getting pumped
on.
up. Maybe it was the trumpeter did.
Come
The
on,
trumpeter
Kulu.
just got the players juiced up, and they already started off.
Oh,
very,
Tyler,
very
you've got them
quickly.
ready. You got them pumped up, Tyler. Big T. What a start by Tottenham. It was a poor ball initially by Brennan Johnson. How Kulusevski managed to get turned and put that in the back of the net, I will never know. But it's an initial great play by Kulusevski. Battles away. It's a poor headed by the Bayern Munich defender. He gets the flick on onto Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson's marauding down the right. It's a poor ball. It actually ricochets back to Kulusevski, and he buries it. What a great finish from Kulu. Oh, come on.
Oh,
what's
good
that celebration he done against Man City? Unbelievable.
Gets a very lucky deflection, Kulusevski, and he does really well, actually, to get onto the end of it and score that. Well done, and we're already 1-0 to the good, everybody. You absolutely love to see it. Come on, Kulu.
Come on. My man, my dog.
That's what
He's got that mongrel in him. Oh, I love him.
Gorgeous to see. Gorgeous to see.
We need to send out a search party for 2J. If he's out there, 2J, we're sending out a search party, making sure you're okay, my man.
Adrian Brown, I wonder, is also probably losing his mind in the stadium. He's saying it was already good vibes before that goal. I bet it's even better vibes now. The Belgian Hotspur, or also to Tyler, I wanted to say the same thing I said to Edward as well as Sean. You've been a wonderful addition to this community. As a fellow Yank as well, it's always great to see another American Spurs fan out there, giving their opinions on Spurs. And a lot of the fan shows, man, you've been through a lot of roller coasters with us, and you've been really good to us, Tyler. So just want to say, really appreciate you, sir. And then the Belgian Hotspur. Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
No, big up Big T, perfect timing for the message. It's almost like it was meant to be, getting them pumped up for that, and then they go out and score. Big up, Tyler.
Yeah, it's like the Adrian Chia, what was it? The Jinx is the Adrian Chia Jinx in a great way there, if you're listening, Adrian. Oh, what wonderful skill. I think that was Madison there.
Oh, that's a shit pass.
Wonderful skill to get out of pressure there. No, it was Pedro Porro, sorry. It was Pedro Porro, not Madison. Gorgeous from Pedro. Brennan Johnson.
And big up the Belgian Hotspur as well. Says he can't wait to see our celebrations. Well, look, you already got one, my man. Unfortunately, I'm not standing up. But I was trying to do the big Kulu celebration where he pumps the knee up in the air like he did against Man City, my man. But no, look, one thing, I do have my criticisms with the club and all, but I'm going to fucking enjoy the moment when we score goals. I can tell you that.
Spurs have started off very brightly, Joris, and you were treated nice and early to a goal celebration now, weren't you? Not as crazy as maybe Dave and I normally do. I'd say probably on the Richter scale of celebrations.
So early.
Maybe on the Richter scale of our celebrations, maybe only like a 2 or a 3, kind of midway, but we can get definitely much more hype than that. Big up to you, Joris, and really appreciate you, my man. Also, like plenty other of the members, plenty of other of this special community. You've been really
on
good.
the attack again
really
here, though.
It's
a lovely sweeper ball out to Sonny. Sonny. Oh, it's a poor touch. Unlucky. Nearly 2-0 up. Basuma mops it up onto James Madison.
What a ball that was,
Tottenham.
Sonny.
Yeah, it was a great ball. Tottenham explosive
touch.
Here. Basuma, great touch. Takes on 1, takes on 3, takes on 4.
Going.
Oh.
Still going.
Oh, he's the immovable train. He can't be stopped.
The
Biss Express.
The final boss.
The Biss Express.
The final
Go
Basuma.
on, it's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. Come on, Jedi, let's go.
Like I said, it's good vibes on the final preseason game, and Spurs have delivered it so far. Great vibes in the final match, final preseason game.
By the way, guys, just a little thing. We are so close to 15,000 subscribers. If you think Spurs fans or Spurs fans that should be joining in on this bants today on the Biss Express, make sure you tell them to come and subscribe to us, and let's get over the 15K. And by the way, lastly as well, fan cams, all you fan show members, elite show members, send them in after the game. I will get them up tonight as soon as I get home.
Just Musiala here. Great tackle from Sarr. I don't even know if that was a foul, but I like that they're already getting physical with Musiala, who
Yeah.
is such a brilliant player. And it's scary to think about, with how much we were outplayed in the previous match, that Musiala wasn't even on the pitch, to be honest, in the last game. And Spurs, they've woken up from that previous game, and they've already punched Bayern in the mouth nice and early.
Yeah, look, Jack, revenge, well, that's what we're looking for here. And we're also looking for the sharpness. I think we've looked very sharp the opening 5 minutes. If we start like that against Leicester, they're not going to be able to handle it.
I'd love to see that. And then Adrian Chia. You're hilarious, man. He's saying, did someone call for a super chat curse? Come on, you Spurs. Adrian,
big
man.
up, Adrian Chia. Big up, my man. Absolute legend. By the way, guys, I seen Kate asking where the game is on. I think it's on TNT Sports, Kate.
And if
Spurs play.
If you have any access to Paramount Plus, through some type of service or something, there's Paramount Plus as well.
Oh, it's back post. It's just gone wide. Who's that? That the old Thomas Muller at the back post. It was a good ball in.
The old man Thomas. He had a great
By the way, Dragosin playing against the team he turned down, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's great. He gets to start against them both times. Vicario, let's hope for no mistakes with him in possession today.
Yeah, that was shocking last week.
Oh, and he does a brilliant ball out to Johnson. Good hold-up play there
from
Johnson. Can
That's
get him behind
Johnson.
Pedro and him, not on the same page there.
It's a shit ball as well, though, to be fair from Pedro. But that was initially great play by Brendan Johnson there, actually.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due.
Not really sure what
Come on, Keith, get after him.
Pedro thinks he must be Superman if he was already able to run him behind after holding it up.
Then he's so sharper than everybody else, he's trying just to get going. No one else is on his level right now.
Can we get another Pedro screamer today? That would be lovely. Maybe that will be the super chat curse for Adrian. We'll get a Pedro super chat curse. That'll be great. Thank you,
honestly,
Adrian.
I'll be in a land of euphoria if he bangs in another one today.
Great defending from Jet Spence. All over Thomas Muller. All over.
Get in there.
James Madison, probably a little lacking there in the press. Oh, Spence caught him behind. Gnabry.
Well done, Davies. Fucking brilliant defending.
We need to also remember that Serge Gnabry, for some reason or another, loves playing against Tottenham Hotspur. He's scored so many times against us, and he's barely even played against us, it feels like. Very, very scary there.
Big up K32. Good to see you in the building, my man, from a beautiful island. It's beautiful today. Derek Hutchinson not impressed with the Ben Davies defending there. Big up that boy. And James, the paratrooper, has gone Kulusevski, baby. I'm telling you, I've been saying I think he's ready to explode this season.
Oh, someone caught him possession.
Oh, great challenge.
Well done, Madison. That's a foul. Or sorry, Kulusevski.
Brilliant by Kulu. You're discrediting him now, Jack. He's doing that good. You don't even want to give him credit anymore.
Yeah, I'm now Dave's the Kulusevski defender. All of a sudden, become the Kulusevski hater. Some people are even saying, Dave, who needs a striker now?
Well, look, I've always said Kulusevski, should have played him up front last year. He's done a good job pre-season. But look, the good thing is, there was a lot of things about Kulusevski come the end of the season,
lovely.
About his empire. Oh, this great move by Tottenham. No, I'm interrupted here. Now we've got the big Kulu on again.
Poor from
Kulu. Poor ball to Johnson.
Well done, Madison.
But what I was saying is, though, with Kulu, at least he has shown the Empire this preseason, which is a huge question that was asked of him last season. Now, of course, a different story. Can he do it heading into the season? But he looks good. He looks bloody good.
Yeah.
And he's got the trim as well. He looks like he means business.
Bayern forced to get it cleared. Good touch from, I think this is Dragosin. Well, good touch.
What do you think, Jack? Could I do the Kulusevski hair expert? I think I could.
I mean, there's not really much to analyze, is there, with Kulusevski's hair? It's a bit...
Jack, there's plenty. The length of it, has he been to the barbers recently? Has he not? It tells me a lot about the person,
It's similar to yours. It's a clean cut, it's a very clean, serious type of cut, that's for sure. Ooh, Bayern playing it behind here. I think this was Matisse Tell. One-on-one with Pedro.
Oh, that would have been a great goal. You got to get close. I hate when the fullbacks back off and allow a player the time to shoot there, especially in modern day football. They can shoot with very, very little back lift. You just got to get close and stop them.
Hey, Ethan, like I've said to you guys before, there's always going to be a delay because sadly we're not in the room with you guys. We're trying to run a live stream, so there always is going to be, some sort of delay of some kind. Hopefully you guys can understand that. That's kind of the point of the timer, is that if you guys want to pause, catch up with us, you are certainly encouraged and welcome to do so. But sadly, we cannot be in the room at the same exact time as you guys can.
Oh, no, you're nearly taking the shins off Upamecano there. That was good build-up play, though. Shame about the final ball over the top for Johnson. Poor ball for him, but it was good build-up play from the back. But yeah, guys, look, there is always going to be a 10, 15-second delay. But look, hopefully we're fun enough. You prefer our commentary. And plus, it's more Tottenham biased.
Kim Min-jae, who made that mistake earlier.
Going out. Huh?
Kim Min-jae is the one who made the mistake earlier that Kulusevski pounced on in that opening goal. Kim Min-jae starting a bit rattled.
I just loved how alert Kulusevski was for that, because considering the first ball was behind him, you know, he could have easily switched off, but he didn't. As soon as it bounced his way, bam, straight in the back of the net. Still such a great, exciting opening 10 minutes of the game. It's brilliant. It's what we want to see. Oh no, Vicario, please stop this. That's absolutely magnificent play. Who's that?
Pedro, it looks like.
Great play.
Here he is again, the Porrito.
Oh, come
Madison,
on, Tottenham.
What a
it's a really great ball by Madison. Come on, Kulu, you got Johnson.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's a poor ball. He
returns,
he reciprocates Johnson's poor ball with one back to him. That's poor by Kulu. That's got to be so much better. If that's in front of him, that's in the back of the net.
I'd say it's an even worse ball than Brennan Johnson's.
Yeah, it was worse. It was shocking.
Well behind him. It's got to be so much out more in front. It's a great play, though, from Pedro and Madison. What a ball from Madison.
What a ball by Madison. Outside of the boot squat. Ooh.
And Pedro to bill out from the back there. It's just great play from Spurs. So much energy in the team. Also, King Hoddle pointing out that we're breaking down the press a lot better than what we did in the previous game. That's a fair point, because Bayern were all over us in that game. Serge Gnabry.
Still getting exposed out wide here, though. They're getting numbers. If they start using it quicker, we're in trouble.
I think this is Pavlovic. They're getting stuck in on themselves.
For fuck's sake, Johnson. When you're playing a proper foot.
Back post, Serge. That's a huge
Johnson
mess.
Pulled out with a tackle there in the midfield. You can't do that.
Adrian Chi is saying, added Solanke to my FPL team. I can't wait for the season. I can't wait to get started on the members fantasy league, Adrian Chi. I'm really looking forward to it, man. If you want to get involved with it, just let Dave or I know, and we would love to get you involved in our members fantasy league. Basuma here, though. Great play.
I feel like I've got a very good pick. This is a great play here, though. Again, the Biss Express. Book him, please, ref. Can you book him?
The final boss. He's just surging through midfield there. He's got to call. Oh, it's an English referee. What do we expect? Not going to be expecting any calls today, then. No penalties, no nothing.
I mean, it's a joke. I know it's only preseason, but come on, fairness.
That's a yellow card. I mean, that's a yellow card.
I'd argue if the players have to have preseason, the referees have to have preseason by dishing out cards as well. Johnson, come on, kid.
Referee
better
looks
ball.
like
Well done.
Referee looks like he was having an interesting summer, maybe full of beers.
Yeah, I'd say he's just back from Spain, Jack, this morning.
Lanzarote. We also have what Adrian Chia's super chat, though. I'm really
Him and Michael Oliver are out there planning being anti-Tottenham.
I'm really looking forward to the fantasy league, though, everybody. And I promise we are going to deliver it. It's going to be coming out this week. It's just so many things that Dave and I are trying to deliver for you guys, and we're all trying to get it done. You know, it's kind of like getting signings done, you know, like Spurs. We're leaving it Daniel Levy style. We're doing it all at the very last minute. So we apologize, but I promise we'll get it delivered.
And we've got a lot of content coming your way. Oh, good ball.
It's all right, though. To Madison. Back to Spence. Spence, good touch. Can you get onto it, though?
You're not Ronaldinho, Spence. Just do the simple things and you'll be good.
Spence with his best Emerson impression.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny
You should have
Darko.
just played it into Kulu there.
Thank you, Danny Darko. If you guys want to smash the like button, if you do enjoy these watch-alongs, please do so. It really does help us out a lot.
Yeah. All you legends tuning in with us, we love this. Saturday afternoon. Everyone else, you know, who doesn't support a football club or Tottenham Hotspur are out having a great time. And here we are.
Well done, Ben. Way to get in front of it. Spence, though, being dragged out wide, though, with the ball out to Stanisic. Can clear it. Ben Davies can't rise high enough, but it's cleared away. Kimmich at the top of the box to Mistis-Tel.
Close him.
The French. Oh, here's what I'll say. A few times now, Gnabry has gotten in behind Spence like that. And I will say that Spence, when it is in front of him, he does better defending than when he has to play. When they keep catching him out, and that was the case the last game, with those balls in behind him. He doesn't seem to know what's behind him at all
Yeah.
moments, it feels like Spence. And I understand, though, he's playing out of position at left back. So maybe it's just the body positioning for him is just awkward, or the kind of
Yeah.
awareness where he doesn't look over the right shoulder. Maybe he's not looking over the left shoulder. It's hard to really describe, if you know what I mean. But I think there is that sort of body
But all
positioning.
his movements are opposite, aren't
Ex-
they, to his natural movements?
Exactly.
I 100% get what you mean there. But it's twofold, Jack. As much as Spence needs to stay switched on, I think Pedro Porro needs to stop allowing Mateus Tel all that room to pick a cross or a shot. You need to get right in front of him and get aggressive.
Absolutely. Darius asking the member, big up Darius, thanks for being a member, but he's saying, where can I find the FPL code? That's what I was talking about, Darius. It's not even out yet. We haven't made the new league yet, but I promise it will be out there, and it will be very available to you. We'll make a big announcement of it. It'll be in the community section. You won't be able to miss it. It's just our fault we haven't gotten around to it yet soon enough. Yellow card.
Well,
Oh,
technically,
what a save, but it's 1-1.
Meccano's there to tap it home.
It's again at the back post. It's that left back post for us, and we're just getting wrecked over there.
Oh,
It's 1-1.
poor. So unfortunate as well. The great save by Vicario initially, and then Meccano's just there to tap it home. But you're right, Jack. It's just another ball towards the back post. Again, it's another set piece that Tottenham sort of failed to be able to deal with.
Yeah, another set piece as well. That's a fair point, Dave. Yeah, set piece, bloody defending, says King Hoddle. It's not been our strong suit. Who is it as well? It's Pop Matassar and Spence at the back post. Both kind of just pointing at each other, but none of them guarding anyone, really.
None of them has even picked. Spence is in no man's land there. He's not even marking anybody.
There are more Bayern players at the back post than there are Spurs players.
And Pedro Porro also lost his man as well. There's three of them there. Spence, Sarr, and Porro. None of them marking anybody. Porro just allowed himself to be bullied to the ground. You can't do that. You just gotta just use your body, use your low center of gravity, and just don't allow him to run anywhere.
That is kind of the odd thing about the set piece defending at times. It's Neuer with a sketchy touch, but he's always.
I hate this zone of marking. I just want to go man for man, and then you can pinpoint the responsibility. You know what I mean? And the more you single out someone, the more it'll get them to actually get onto it then and resolve the problem. Tottenham being broke on again here.
Back
struggling to get back.
Behind.
It's a good ball. Well done,
Dragashin. Dragashin. Trying to find Thomas Muller.
Spurs has stepped off it maybe here from 10 minutes onward. The last 6-7 minutes need to wake up a little bit here again. Big Vic. Looking for options. Searching. Scanning. Decides to go into the midfield. That's
Kulu,
a great ball.
Great turn. That's a foul, referee.
Ref. I mean, he's nearly took his Achilles out there. Can we have a card? Baffling. Come on, Jedi.
Nicely done.
It's a great ball around the
but
corner.
It's well read by Kim and Jay.
Oh, Bayern on the break again here.
We
really need to slow down these breaks.
Side. Matisse Tell. I think this is Pavlovic. Out wide to Stanisic. To Gnabry. On our left side now. Jet Spence. Played him behind.
Who's not tracked the runner?
Good save from Vicario. But yes, again, it's that left side for us. We're just getting torn apart on this left side.
Sonny let that runner go there. He didn't even follow him. That's lazy. Especially if you know Jed Spence is in trouble. It's even more important Son gets back there and digs him out for 5-10 minutes.
And it's also Ben Davies, who we know we can't really always expect the most from. Sonny, though, good hold-up play. Into Kulu. Man on Kulu.
Hold it up.
One-on-one with Kim and Jay. Well done. Sonny makes the run. He's probably got to find... it's a little heavy. Can Pedro get there? No, to no one.
No.
Probably panicked a little bit, Sonny. Just kind of blindly hit it.
Yeah, I don't even think he got his head up there. I think he just delivered it. But again, you know, where he was going, he probably had no other option. Someone needs to sort of read that and get towards the back post. You got two in there. One needs to go front, one needs to go back.
I agree. It was good hold-up play initially by both Sonny and Kulu to get us up the pitch, but then in the final ball and the final decision was a bit lacking.
Oh, great play.
Basuma. There we are. Good space here now for Pedro. Can we get another screamer?
Oh, I'd love it.
Johnson. Into Pedro.
Back to Pedro. All the way back to Dragashin. Tottenham recycling possession here, going across to the left-hand side. Onto Ben Davies. It goes for a one over the top. It's actually a great ball into Sonny. Sonny tries to feed Jed Spence. It's come off the Bayern player's fat head. And I think it's gone for a throw into Tottenham.
There's Ange. It's gone for the polo.
Yeah. People are saying we're defending crap at this moment in time. That we are. And it's the speedy attacks. If we can slow them down a little bit, we keep retreating them too often and we're allowing them to almost get it right up to our box.
I think the issue, part of the thing, though, too, is it's just two pressing teams, right, going at each other.
Yeah.
So we can't have that time on the ball that we might against other teams. So when we come up against a Leicester City, and it's like Steve Cooper's Leicester City, right? So I assume we'll have a lot of time on the ball against them, whereas maybe against Bayern, right? They're going to try to win the ball back from us as soon as possible, which is going to make this just such an end-to-end game. And they do have excellent players like Musiala here who can handle the pressure. They can handle the press. They have some world-class players like Musiala. Well done from Sarr.
Do you know, I was just thinking there, Jack, as well. It'd be interesting to see what sort of reception Spence is getting off the Spurs fans.
I hope he's getting a good one. I will say that he has been struggling playing at left back defensively.
Well, it's the same with Emerson when he went across there as well. Just need to buy another left back.
Yeah, I don't really blame Spence, too. Like, as much as we're going to point it out that he's not defended well, it's not like I'm saying this with any real malice or anything, you know? It's just something you do have to point out, but it's not really Spence's fault.
So I'm in two minds on this one, because when you've got a Doji there, he doesn't need help. So I can understand no one really getting back to help him. And, you know, does Postecoglou say to Sonny, you don't get back and help Spence, and hopefully he learns? Or do you say to Sonny, get back there for 5 minutes, trench in with him, work back with him, block up that side, just to alleviate a bit of pressure coming down there?
Another set piece, though. Can we defend it? Sort of do. Not really.
Gnabry, oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Gnabry was involved. Oh, well done, Sonny.
Oh.
Kulu, come on, Sonny, all the way. Put on the burners. Put on the burners. Oh, Musiala catches up to him.
That's great defending by Musiala. Good ball by Sonny on
Kulu. Brendan Johnson was there, though. Good positioning by Brendan. Good hold-up play by
Kulu link up again. Or Kulu and Son link up again.
And it was good hard work from Kulu, actually, to then win that ball, and then Sonny got to put on the burners. Hard to... I mean, once you have the ball at your feet, though, I mean, people can catch up to you. Kim Min-jae is very fast as well.
In fairness, that's great tracking back by Musiala. A guy of his talent, I can actually understand if he's lazy there.
This has just been so end-to-end. It's definitely not a preseason game.
Oh.
Kulu.
Oh, it's just blocked going for the near post cross. Finds his way out to Madison. Can he deliver?
Madison, out for a corner, I think.
Corner? That'll do. Just keep them penned in up here. Let's keep the pressure on them.
So far, I'd say in possession, everyone has looked very sharp in possession. Yeah. Everybody from Ben Davies all the way up to Sonny, to Kulu, Madison, Johnson, they've all looked good. It's just defensively, like Dave said, a little ropey, though. Oh, yeah. Kulu!
Oh, that's a penalty.
He never asked for a penalty, though, Kulu. He's never the type of guy to do that.
I'd like us to see us demonstrate more for these decisions. Again, it's just another switch out ball from Bayern Munich here.
Well done, Spence.
Well done, Jet Spence. That's more like it, Spence.
That's what I mean with Spence, Dave, is I think he actually does well when it's in front of him. Oh!
Come on, Spence! Out to Sonny. It's a good ball.
Oh, a little too far in front of Madison.
That is absolutely quality from Spence. Not only does he dispossess him, he then makes the guy and takes him sides. Quality.
Oh, it's just gorgeous from Spence. He does so well defending in front of him there, and then actually takes it past the Bayern defender afterwards. Like I said, though, maybe when it's played a bit behind him, when they try to go in behind Spence, he struggles with it. But when the ball is in front of him, what I like about him, he's aggressive, he's strong, he's hard in the tackle. Well done by Spence.
Yeah, that was quality. What I love about it is how explosive he could be. He looks like he's dawdling. The next thing is just that change of pace and he's gone. It's quality.
Yeah. He loses you. Yeah, he does. He's deception pace. It's got to be
another
outside.
Ball targeting Spence, though. And Vicario's out to deal with this one.
Good job, Vic. Calm things
down,
Vic.
See what the chat's saying. People are loving that from Spence. That's what I want to see.
Spence is on the ball here again. Spurs probably trying to take some type of breath while they can in possession.
Ebb and flow. That's a great word to describe this game. Spurs GCTV. It's a great ebb and flow to this game. It's a good game.
Dragishin doesn't do well there.
Oh, Basuma
does not do well. It's on Dragishin, though.
Davies gets caught ball watching.
Oh, that's a penalty.
No, he slipped. No, he slipped. We think he did anyway. We'll take it.
Oh, Sonny, great ball. Madison, good touch. That is a yellow. Please, can we have a yellow card?
Quick free kick.
Done by Madison.
Kulu, pull it back.
Kulu!
Oh!
Kulu!
Oh,
He
he's
had
a
Sonny there.
menace.
He had Sonny there, I feel like, but it's a good shot. And that's a yellow card as well.
Instead of Dennis the Menace, we got Dejan the Menace.
Something unrealistic about these friendlies, too. This was the case in the last game, where if this was a regular game, Bayern would have had 30 yellow cards in the last game for some of the tactical fouling that they were doing. They were very physical with us in the last game, and they have been in this game as well. And there should be, if this wasn't a preseason friendly, there would be more yellow cards.
Why has Ben Davies kept Matthias Tell on side? He's already anticipating being 10 yards behind the fucking line, and he's... What an absolute muppet. I'm sorry, but that's just shocking. Hold the line that Porro's holding. Matthias Tell is offside. Because he's so afraid and he drops 10 yards back, he's playing the whole attack on side. I'm sorry, is he dumb? Muppet.
I think this is Kimmich. Gnabry.
What a weasel.
I feel like Gnabry is just going to be the one that's going to be involved in any of the times that...
If I was Bayern, I'd worry if all my plans centre around Gnabry. It's good pressure. Well done. That's better from Ben Davies. See when he's more aggressive there. Porro. Good ball. Oh, that's filthy. Unlucky. Bayern looking to hit this left side every opportunity to get. Can we get pressure on the ball?
Guerrero, I think.
He was a good
Pavlovic.
little sign about Bayern. I like him.
He's a very technical player. Oh, just a moment here, Sonny. Can he find Kulu? He's got him out wide. Oh, my Lord. No, he hasn't.
Oh,
Went for his own Harry Kane.
tried to catch Neuer out there from the halfway line. That's cheeky. No one really does that to Neuer.
He needs a bit more loft, and yeah, Neuer is a very athletic goalkeeper to try that over. I would try that over Fraser Forster.
I love when the player has that audacity.
I think it was on target. It's just he didn't get enough loft on it.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's worthy. It's where I go. That's too easy dancing around Star like that. And he's just jogging back. Come on, Pappy. Wow, well done. Oh, Spence, it looked like you got
not
there. Why did
aware
you
of
step over the
Gnabry,
ball?
back post. Well done, Dragon. Well done,
Well done,
Dragon.
Dragon.
Not great from
Why did
Spence
Spence
there.
do a step over there?
Yeah, it's not a. He's
You
just
need
not
to.
aware.
You already made it. Baffling. Great defending by Dragosin, though, on the recovery. People are saying we've no midfield, Jack. Do you agree with that?
Once again, it is very easy for them to bypass the midfield.
Yeah. Completely agree with that. Very easy for them to bypass. You even look at Sarr there. He got skinned and he's just jogging back. You need to see more urgency there. Why is that Bayern player moving one of the camera microphones? You don't touch Tottenham's equipment, please. Kimmich with the corner. Can Spurs deal with this? It's one of our biggest weaknesses. He's gone near post. And that's, who's that? Tottenham head there first.
Madison
James
down.
Madison, is it?
He's put his head on the line there.
Was it James Madison?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, well, we'll stall play for 10 minutes. We'll take him to the local hospital. Roll out the air ambulance service as well.
Well, with a head injury, I'd like to be taking it somewhat seriously if he does feel like he took a bump there, because it's not nice if you feel like you got that sort of fuzzy feeling, from that. It can be harsh, he might have had contact with head-to-head there. What a defending by Dragishin, though, from that Spence mistake. Great defending from Dragishin.
Yeah,
it could have
great
easily
recovery.
been a goal. Oh, yeah, that hurts. I mean, Kim and Jay's just absolutely headbutted the back of his head there.
It's only a little stinger. Get up.
You're just too entrenched in your Madison flopping thing. You're too entrenched.
look,
That hurts, though.
look,
that hurts.
Other players have gone and challenged for the ball. None of them have gone down for 5 minutes.
I think with a head injury, it's a bit different.
Look,
I'd
maybe
agree
I'm
with you.
being harsh. I
I think with head injuries, it's a bit different. And it's also in the modern game now, you have to take it more seriously because how many times now have we seen guys get hit in the back of the head and all of a sudden, they're passing out, 10 minutes later.
Fair.
And he's buying himself, probably some needed time from him. I mean, he's gonna be feeling that in the back of in the next morning. He's gonna have a big bruise there. I mean, he's just absolutely forehead at the back of his head.
I get it, but the thing is, we've all played the game. We've all gone up for headers. We've all received a bash to the head. Not going down like that, though, the way he is.
I think that was a nasty one.
It'd be grand.
Basuma telling his boys.
I like that, though. Kicks the ball off the spot from Kimmich. That's nice.
Divine is warming up, apparently, says Edward.
Warming up? Oh. Goal kick, Tottenham.
What about Eze? Dreadlock 74. What have you seen? Is he in the stadium? Is he next to Solanke? Vic.
Carry off.
Vic! Stop it,
That's the second time running he's done this in this game.
Oh, my Lord.
He's fucking me
Vic,
up now.
again, and it's freaking Gnabry.
Jesus Christ.
Again, it's Gnabry.
He done it last week.
Again. Vic.
He done it last week. It's a suicide pass. It's suicide. When he's dragging players towards him and he's got a guy right up his hole, that's when you have to bypass that option. You don't give it into him. It's
anybody else, Vic. Just anybody else, mate. Anybody else.
Go long to Kulu.
Anybody else, mate.
Fuck me, Vicario. That's twice now in 2 games.
It's just not even an accurate pass to Bissouma, too. Like
it's not even on.
It's not on, but it's not even like, even if he does play it there, it's like literally to the Bayern player. It's just not even on the right side of Bissouma. It's just all wrong from Vic. And I swear, man, Gnabry just knows how to finish everything against us.
It's just not even on. The guy's right up his hole, ready to take it off, and as soon as it comes in there, Vicario has to see that. It's not even on. He shouldn't even go there.
I think we got to sign Gnabry just so he stops scoring against us, and he is technically a right winger.
What has Vicario done?
Why has he done this to us now? Vicario, from one of the most composed keepers in the Premier League last season, debatably one of the best keepers with the ball at his feet last season, has just all of a sudden just lost it. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He done the exact same thing against Bayern Munich last week to give them the lead.
Why has he done it twice now? That's just poor. That's horrible. 2 games in a row now from Vic.
If you get caught once, fair, but you got to learn from that mistake and not do it again.
He's got to actually probably just take a note or two from that guy, Manuel Neuer, who's probably the best there ever really has been with it.
Never on that one. I don't understand.
Oh, what a win from Sarr. Oh. Good touch. That's a foul.
That's a free ref.
He shoved him up. Referee hasn't given it as well. Oh, my gosh.
No. Shocking.
I think we got to sign Gnabry just so he stops scoring against us.
It was a good strike by him there, to be fair. But if Vicario's going to make that error, he's got to make the save to make up for it.
Artist does agree with you, Dave. He's saying Ange needs to start yelling at him to get up. And then he says specifically when he dives like we saw last season. Listen, I agree with Dave when it comes to Madison's diving, when it comes to his antics when he gets a foul. I just think when it comes to head injuries, I think with the way the game has gone, I actually kind of do enjoy the fact that, they take it a bit more seriously than they used to. Because nowadays, you've just seen so many horrible incidents of like players who pretend like they're okay, and then they end up not being okay. And now you face the repercussions of it. And had you just taken it more seriously, then, you can avoid those nasty incidents of players passing out or being woozy or concussions that weren't taken seriously, that sort of thing.
No, I do hear your point. It's probably just me being a bit old school there, to be brutally honest. But what I will say is, if Kim Min-jae was rolling around doing the same thing and receiving the same treatment, I'd say, okay, fair enough. But when it's just Madison, and I see it all the time, anytime he gets touched, it drives me insane.
Well done from Porro and Johnson. I think that was Johnson there. Good hold up. Oh, Bissouma.
It's poor from Bissouma. Oh, now the referee wants to give free kicks.
Now he's giving a foul. I don't even know what for.
Holy shit. There he is.
Right next to Richie.
Solanke.
I love that he's sitting next to Richie as well. Nice to see.
They're not talking, though. Richie has his head down. He doesn't want to speak to him.
They're down 2-1, and they're just staring intensely at the pitch. Dom was very serious there.
Dom's looking at where he needs to be, you know, when balls are at certain players' feet. Oh, no. That's great play by Bayern. They've got a free run through the middle as well. Can someone get back to cut it out? It's a poor delivery. Vicario's there.
King Hoddle saying Vicario's developed laryngitis.
Seems like it so far at this point. You know, I mean, look, like I said, I can forgive it happening once, but when it's happened 2 weeks in a row, it's just mind-boggling. And he'll probably do the same just somewhere along the Premier League as well. Like, I can understand if Basuma's got 5-10 yards away from his man when he makes that run, give it to him by all means. But when the guy's literally at his hole, anticipating it, waiting for it, begging for it to go in there so he can take it, it's just stupid.
I also
suicidal.
I'd agree with Artis when it comes to the Madison sort of fouls, because there was a moment where he did then play it quickly after receiving a foul, and we nearly scored from it. So that is the thing with Madison. If he does, in certain situations, get up sooner and just play the pass, or just, you know, get up, really, he would be able to take advantage of certain moments, like he did at one point in this game, where he did get up quickly, and then he was able to play a pass in behind. Kimmich, though, knocking Madison to the floor. There he is, wanting to play quickly, but Bayern a little bit of housery, trying to take it away from him. Madison looking for a run from Kulu. It's just overplayed, maybe even forced as well. He didn't need to force it. Listen, though, with Vicario, I am concerned. Like, I don't like seeing that 2 times in a row, but I will vouch for him from last season. I don't think it's something I'm going to get too concerned about with him, but it is not. It has not been nice to see that he just doesn't look like the same person with the ball at his feet. Another dangerous chance there. Musiala, lovely feet, to be honest, to get past his defender, and then fires it wide.
Yep. That midfield needs to be rejigged. They are just running through it at absolute will every time they get that ball today.
What Bayern seemed to do, though, is Vincent Kompany, he just gets it out to the wing with a big switch of play, and then with that switch of play, we get all of a sudden really dragged out of position from us tracking back, and then they just play it back into the midfield, and then the midfield is already trying to accommodate for that switch of play, and we get caught out. But Madison does really well
Good
dropping
ball.
Deep, finds Basuma.
Oh,
man!
for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
Lord.
Jesus bloody Christ. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for using the Lord's name in vain. I don't want to do that, but my God, he makes me sometimes. It's just he's 2 options there, and he hits it between both of them. How's that even possible? You couldn't even do that if you asked him to do it. Come on, Basuma. Much better than that. You started off so good in today's game. Come on, Johnson. You got the Jets. Get there, quicker.
Guerrero gives it away.
Well done, Dragusin. Davies.
Madison
taking it off him. What can he do? It's a good ball into Spence around the corner. It's untidy. Again, probably a little bit forced.
Yeah, the Spurs are starting to force it a bit. Or panicking, not as confident in possession as they were earlier in the game.
Neuer. It's a shame because the opening 10 minutes were fucking electric.
Good feet from Stanisic.
The referee is giving them every single free kick. Who's the Edgar Davids want to be on the bench?
Maybe it is Edgar.
It could be. Just with a lot more weight on him.
Kev G saying players are jogging all over the place.
Yeah.
They start off with a ton of energy.
That's way overhit.
I do feel like the fact that the people who are pointing out that we do get torn apart in the midfield, I think it starts first, though, with those kind of switches of play out wide. Spence does really well here. Really good
that's
feet.
2. Dragging, clawing at fresh air there.
He's
Trying to get a hold of Spence.
He's got to find Johnson there if he can. Dragon. To Ben Davies. Madison, pressure on Kimmich.
Bayern finding it a little bit easy here the last few minutes to knock it around. We can't get
Upamecano
pressure on them
into
anywhere.
yep. It's these switches of play. We just get caught out. Pedro Porro is being caught out on that right
Look
side
at the
plenty
gap
of times.
between that midfield and the defence.
Well done, Pedro. Ooh,
Who's
Johnson.
standing there? Johnson's standing there. For fuck's sake, man.
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
second time he's been found there, standing there, just not doing anything.
No, we're getting
He's
ripped
just
apart
watched
on the
Pedro
flanks.
Porro get in there. Well done, Basuma. That's a great pass. Pedro, looking for options. Oh, well done. And then he delivers a left foot pass. Why is he doing that?
Paul Markey with the super chat. Unless we scupper United's deal and get Ugarte as a similar player elsewhere, or a similar player elsewhere, we are going nowhere. I mean, at a moment like this, you do need some legs in midfield that can cover a lot of ground. You kind of need like another Pop Matasar or something like that in the team, Paul Markey, that can just be that dog in midfield that can just cover ground, be physical defensively, track up and down. And this midfield is being torn apart. But like I was trying to say earlier, I think partially it is to do, though, that what Bayern do well is they get the ball into a midfielder, and then one of the midfielders just immediately looks for that switch of play. And that switch of play is really hurting us. Madison in behind to Johnson, or sorry, Kulu. Can he find Johnson?
Get your head up. Get your head up.
Yes, Sonny. Oh, yes, Sonny. If he plays him with his
How's
right.
he not? He's just got to trust it. He's just got to trust it. He's just got to swing that at that point. Onto your point, though, there about the midfield tree, it's largely being overrun. But when you're looking at it, right, Postecoglou's asking them to keep condensed in that midfield. The problem is, Bayern will have a player that will make an unsighted run behind the midfielder, pop out, get it, switch to play. That midfield, if they're going to be condensed in there, they have to be speaking to each other. Like, for instance, Sarr has to go, Basuma, man's making a run behind you, track it, to stop that guy popping out to receive that ball and switching it. Because once they switch it, we're fucked because, we're so exposed out wide. We leave so much room out wide. So them midfielders, if they're going to be that condensed, they just can't allow that midfield to pop out and get the ball.
Back post, Sonny.
Oh, what defending?
Taken away.
It's not Johnson that played that. That was a good ball.
Pedro Porro. I think Johnson received the pass, and then he played in Porro and behind. It was good play by Johnson. Good play by Porro. Good pass from Johnson here. Good ball from Porro. Great ball from Porro. It's just good defending from Stanisic.
It's a great cross by Porro. It's perfect.
Stanisic, nearly an own goal there. Does really well. Sonny just there for the tap-in. Unlucky. Good defending.
Very unlucky. And to be honest with you, I'm at the point now when I'm looking at midfield, I'm not even sure what problem someone like Ugarte solves.
Yeah, is it more tactically?
With the way we ask him to operate.
Is it more tactically, Paul Markey? Let us know. It's as good as Ugarte is he even good enough to fix, these kind of midfield issues that we're seeing right now?
And don't get me wrong, Ugarte is an exceptional player. Exceptional. I agree with you in terms of, and one thing I'll give you, Paul, you've got a great eye for a midfielder. But I do think you probably understand the point I'm trying to get across anyway. Let me know your thoughts on that, Paul.
In behind for Matisse Tell.
Behind, he's off surely. He's surely off there. Oh, Dragusin, well done. We'll take that. Don't you dare put out a card now, you prick.
Oh my gosh. I feel like he's won the ball, and he looked offsides as well.
I can't believe he's pulled out a card. How many times has
offsides.
Bayern done that down to us the following end? No card. And he pulls out one on Dragu.
Oh, and he's dived as well. He's not even made contact with the player. He's dived.
Oh, it's an embarrassing dive.
That's such an embarrassing dive.
That's red.
God, I'm worried about the referees need VAR because they can't fucking referee the games themselves anymore.
Basuma got sent off for that last year at Luton.
That's shocking, though, from the referee because he's dived, and then also it looked like he was well offside, Matisse Tell. The linos and the referees are all they're still in Lanzarote.
Oh, please don't get this on target. After this free kick, we'll get to your member chat, Brian Dempsey. Big up, my man. Good to see you. And thank you to everyone who's still joining us. 460 you in the house. Thank you so much. Halftime approaching. Get your questions in, your talking points, whatever it may be. Kimmich standing over this. Tottenham with the wall and the draft excluder. That wall's longer than 10 yards away, I can tell you that. Oh no, it's another one towards that fucking post.
This is untenable.
And it's Jed Spence again. He's standing there with his hands on his hips. Who else didn't follow that run? There's someone else there. It's not just Jed.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is
how many warning signs do you need, Jacko?
This is not acceptable. The fact that we're still getting exposed by set pieces like this. So much of this is on the players. So much of this is also on the coaching. I can't even decide which one is more responsible, but they definitely both are. But this is ridiculous at this point. It's
How many
every
warning
single
signs?
game. It's every single game we're getting wrecked by set pieces.
They've already had 5 warning signs in this game already towards the back post.
And why do we have
no,
no one on the back post again?
That's
No
not
one
even
is
Jed Spence.
there.
I apologise. That's Kulusevski. That's all on him. He's completely lost his man. Oh, my Lord. It's all on Kulu. I apologise, Jed. It's all on... He's actually gone mad at Kulusevski for it. Fair play.
Just so
That's fucking shocking. How many warning signs do we need, though? How many balls go to the back post and we're just leaving them run around? That's a free ref.
Thing is with set pieces as well is that it's such an easy goal for opposition teams. Like any team can score that type of goal. It could be Stevenage and they could score that goal against us. That's what's concerning.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a Bayern Munich to expose us. It actually could be pretty much any team. I mean, when we come up against Sean Dyche, I mean, I'm worried. Here's just a moment though, Madison. Oof.
What have you got about against Stevenage, by the way, Jack?
What'd you say?
What have you got against Stevenage, by the way, lad?
Someone mentioned Stevenage the other day, and I can't get the club out of my mind. And now all of a sudden,
Madison,
I got a soft
perhaps
spot
a bit
for
greedy
Stevenage.
there.
I got a soft spot for
Not
Stevenage. I feel like he could have maybe taken his time there. But what's really concerning is, like, Bayern or Bayern Munich, they don't need to rely on set pieces. But a team like maybe Sean Dyche's, Thomas Frank's, at Brentford, you have some of the teams that have been just promoted. They will wreck us on these. Sonny.
Yeah.
Poor touch from Sonny. Poor touch.
He hasn't been sharp in front of goal today. You're absolutely spot on. And what's more baffling, and we'll get into it more, over the halftime. What's more baffling is, how have you not worked on that over the course of the summer? Like, that's one of the big things that should have been pinpointed and focused to work on this summer because of how bad it was last season. Even finding a way to stop the frequency of these counterattacks. I don't get it. I just do not get it. But like when you switch off like that, it just costs you goals. Also for Karius, well, we've just made some stupid errors today that just don't need to be made. It's appalling. How many more times do we have to allow them to clip balls to the back post and have 2 or 3 runners there? And you're right, Jack. It's clearly something teams have identified because then when you actually look at how much they're overloading that back post with 3 to 4 runners running at it, they know they're going to get goals off it.
Yeah. Well, everyone, please get your thoughts in at halftime. Let us know what you thought of this. I mean, there's definitely some question marks, a lot of concerns to be had. It is our last preseason game. There's only one, this is our final chance to make these mistakes without there being any true consequences to it. But now that we come up against the Leicester Cities and plenty more clubs ahead, it's going to start bearing consequences, these types of performances and these types of moments. And a lot of it's on, I think, tactics, and a lot of it is also on the players individually. Even Kulusevski there, it's just really, really poor from him. But also, even why is Kulusevski the guy at the back post when we've been exposed on that back post probably 4 or 5 times now at this stage? You feel like you want to start putting someone like a Dragishin back there, or someone like a Ben Davies, or I'm not too sure. But Brian Dempsey from earlier, he said, from being a fan show member for 23 months, nearly 2 years. Wow. Thank you so much, Brian, for your support, my friend. And he's saying, all right, Dave and Jack, great to see us. We need to get a central midfielder to put his foot on the ball and pick out some of these easier passes. Come on, Levy, it's a must. Well, Brian, I think earlier from Paul Markey, he wants someone like a Ugarte who's not only good on the ball, but also is, I think, a real dog, defensively, can really get up and down, can really put in the effort in trying to help us not look as defensively exposed in the midfield. But it looks like you want still more of that tempo kind of, that playmaker in the deep lying positions in that central area. I think Madison's had an all right game. He's not really been exceptional, but I don't think I can really tear him apart either. I think he's actually been a lot better than he has been in the other games. He's been decent in possession for the most part. Basuma had some good moments, but then he also didn't have some great moments just towards the end. Pop Matasar maybe a bit missing in this game to a degree. Then again, though, he is kind of the legs in midfield. He's the guy that is supposed to be that kind of box-to-box midfielder for us. I mean, Dave, what do you make of Brian Dempsey's super chat or his milestone here that maybe we do need that tempo playmaker, I guess, in the team as well? Bergvall has been good for that for us, and maybe he can make that impact at halftime.
Well, first of all, Brian, good to see you, and hopefully you're keeping well, my man. My father's name is Brian, so it's a name of great men. Look, Jack, this is actually something I've been speaking about to you for a long time. I remember when, I wanted to bring in James Ward-Prowse before he went to Southampton, for instance, or before he went to West Ham, because I do feel like we need that deep-lying playmaker, that guy that can get on the ball and start spraying passes around. A lot of times we're sucking players into us, And it actually leaves space in behind, especially in this Bayern game, to hit Son and Johnson in behind on the wings. But we're not utilising it because Basuma can't do that. I've said this before. With Basuma, it's all about intricate, tidy playing, driving through the middle. But what he doesn't have is that passing range. And if we did have that, maybe it would help alleviate some of the problems we find ourselves in or play ourselves into, for instance. And it's just about giving you that option. So I certainly agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Brian definitely needs some type of impact in the midfield in this next half. Oftentimes in the second half, though, we have seen really huge impact from guys like Bergvall, other players who've come into the team. It's not like Alfie Devine or Bergvall are going to solve our problems, but it is a concern that we've even seen better performances from them in the midfield than we have from some others. We know Bentancur, too, could be brought in off the bench. He needs to get some minutes into his legs. We could see him come in and maybe make an impact, but I see what you mean. Need that guy who can step onto the ball, make things happen, and also have that sort of eye for a pass that maybe other players just don't have, right? They can see passes that other players just don't see. They have that extra second on the ball that other players might not normally have. First touch is spot on, all that type of stuff. So I definitely know where you're coming from, Brian Dempsey. And thank you for 2 years of support as well, sir. And would love to have a chat with you, man, especially if you're a fan show member. Please come on, have your say a bit more often with us, because we're looking forward to an upcoming season with you guys. And if you have concerns, if you have, any sort of question marks about the team, especially going into the season, another fan show coming up this week, right before it all gets started, right before the madness begins. So please come on, have your say, and really appreciate your support for this channel, Brian Dempsey. The artist is saying Ange does not look happy. Well, with Ange, he often is, not looking happy. Even when he is winning, he still has that sort of face of not being happy. That being said, though, he can't be that mad at some of the players, because some of this is on Ange. Like the fact that he did say last season that set pieces are not a problem for him. He doesn't see it as a big question mark. I mean, conceding 2 set piece goals in a preseason game like this, it's just not tenable. Like it's not acceptable. And a part of it is on the players, because Kulusevski just does horrible there. Like you have to also put some blame on some of the players. But the fact that it just continues to happen is not a coincidence. It's clearly something to do with the coaching or the lack of coaching. And I don't know which one it is. It's either they're just getting the tactics all wrong from set pieces, or they're just not working on it still to this day, which I just think is shocking, to be honest. And should be frustrated with himself as well as with the players.
Look, I think it's twofold. I think, okay, he's well entitled to be frustrated with Kulu not tracking his man at the back post, and stuff like that, 100%. But also, if he's not going to work on it, well then, there's no point in getting angry at Kulu either. You've got to work on it. That's on him. He clearly hasn't working on it. For me, as a manager, okay, last season, I implemented my style and my philosophy in the way we want to play. People get it. Now I need to work on the small intricates in it to be able to help evolve it, help make it a bit more, bulletproof, but he doesn't seem to want to do that. That has to change. In terms of Brennan Johnson, done absolutely nothing in that game, even defensively there 2 or 3 times. He's nearly cost us a goal because he just doesn't want to make a challenge. He's pulling out. That's on Ange Postecoglou. He keeps putting them out there. My dad put in the comments there, it looks like they've got 13 men to our 11 out there, which is absolutely spot on about. Again, that's down to, some of the tactics. He leaves so much space out wide. The fullbacks don't get out there aggressive enough when the ball gets out there. We're just inviting balls into our box, and then we can't deal with it. Okay, some of it comes down to the desire, the hunger of players. You've probably got players out there today who don't want to get hurt. They don't want to miss the start of the season. Fine, I get it. But also, Ange Postecoglou has to take some responsibility. And I'm a big Ange fan, by the way. Don't get me mistaken. I think he's a very good manager. But there are teams that maybe he's neglecting right now that I think he should shine a light on, work on, and it actually even help his system even more. He's got a great system in terms of style and philosophy of how he wants to play going forward, how effective it can be against most teams, pushing them back. Yeah. But where he needs to work on that now is defensively. How does he make it defensively more solid, but also on the set pieces?
Yeah, and even if Ange isn't up for the job on set pieces, if that's just not his repertoire, if that's not really in his field of strength, admit it to yourself, right? Get a set piece coach in. Get a set piece coach in. Do what Antonio Conte had done, where he brought in a set piece coach. Think about what other managers do that maybe themselves might not be experts on the subject or experts in the field of it, but they bring in good minds to help them in that department. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it has been I think he took a big risk by sort of being so adamant that it's not a big deal to him. And now that we're still seeing it as a problem, I think that's something that he just has to look at himself for. And yes, like we can also, like Dave and I have, we're not putting it entirely on Ange. We're like, Kulusevski just does terribly there. But it also,
Vicario for the goal.
Vicario, 3 mistakes for 3 goals, right? You just can't let that happen. But it also isn't a coincidence that it just continues to happen, right? It can't just be on the players every single time, as much as they do have to take some responsibility for it. Adrian Chia saying, not going to put this crap show on a super chat curse. No, I don't think you can, Adrian. I don't think you can give them that excuse, sadly. I wish we could, Adrian. It'd be nice if Dave and I could just blame it all on you for these games, but I don't think we can, sadly. But it's just, it started off strong, good vibes, right? Spurs were playing really well, and then all of a sudden, Bayern, they just started playing the tactics that they kind of were in the previous game, where it's these big switches of play that catch the team out. Then they all of a sudden, get us on the break, and we're tracking back. We have to, go all the way back to our own goal, and then they have us really deep and camped in our half, and they end up getting some really decent chances. I mean, how many times has Serge Gnabry already scored today, if not could have maybe had a hat trick maybe at this point? And I mean, yes, Spurs have had their own chances. I say Kulusevski on 2 moments probably should have had an assist. He could have gotten it to Sonny, and he could have gotten it to Brennan Johnson to score. But Bayern have also had some really close calls from scoring as well. They could have scored more than the 3, and it's actually disappointing that the 3 goals they did score were actually more off of our own mistakes than really off of Bayern's good play, where they could have scored off of their own good play, off of their own brilliance. But that's not really the case. They actually scored 3 goals based off of our own mistakes here, and it's a big concern here, Adrian. It's a big concern.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Look, this is the thing. Ange Postecoglou does take responsibility for the set pieces, the setup for the set pieces. But there are players out there that also, Vicario, 2 weeks in a row playing a suicide ball. That pass isn't even on to Basuma. Ideally, what Ange is looking for there is Basuma to get 5-10 yard separation, get the ball, to give him time to get turned. And this is where Vicario needs to realise this. If the guy is up his hole, you don't play that. You scan the pitch, you go out wide, or you go into your striker. It's just brain dead from Vicario. Vicario has to take responsibility for that. Kulu has to take responsibility for not tracking his man at the back post. Look, I think all round, against Bayern Munich was always going to be a step up in class, and we are a working project. I do think there has to be that understanding. But there's a lot of questions around what Tottenham are going to do this season around Ange Postecoglou. And so far, Ange hasn't shown that he's worked on certain things to be able to alleviate those concerns from people. And the players haven't switched on and adhered to this system as much as we want them to. So it's a twofold problem right now. And they've got a week to fucking sort it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Daniel Larson saying, I was so excited for the season, but seeing the set piece issue being even worse now, that is now slowly dying. Sad. I mean, Daniel, I think it's not like you need to technically kill all your hope for the season, but I just think this is a major warning sign to Ange Postecoglou. Something that I think he went for a bit more of I don't know what it was. I think maybe he wanted to calm down some of the, the fears and some of the questions. He's not a guy that always even likes to be questioned. Many managers don't, let's be fair. But he did say, that he didn't see it as an issue. And I think at this point, he can't make that excuse anymore. He can't say that. I think he has to just bear responsibility, at least in some regard. And it looks like, this is a simple solution. Maybe there's a better solution to this that could be a bit more intricate than what I'm going to say. I think he has to look at getting a set piece coach in some regard, because it seems like whoever is in charge of it isn't up to the case. I forget last season if it was on... was it on Ryan Mason or was it someone else? Was it the Australian coach?
Yeah, Ryan Mason and
Jedinak. Was it Jedinak and Ryan Mason? Kind of combination of the two were responsible for the set pieces.
Yeah.
So one of them needs to be taken off. Why is Mason? Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, but why is Mason in charge of set pieces? It wasn't his strong point in his game when he was a player. So why is he on set pieces? Look. Let's be brutally honest, right? We had this problem under Jose Mourinho and Conte as well. It's not just an Ange Postecoglou problem. But at least Conte tried to deal with that problem by bringing in a specialist. We're not trying to deal with it. In fact, we've got a guy on them who was useless from set pieces and defending set pieces. I don't quite understand that. It's confusing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just frustrating as well to see because it just was kind of
Yeah.
ignored clearly by the coaching team and by the staff and the guys that could be in charge of it. Dave and I, maybe a bit lacking in sort of the real definitive answer on who really is responsible for it. But at the end of the day, Ange makes the decisions on who he has in charge for these type of things, and we've been yet again exposed for it. And like I said, Daniel, the fact that Bayern are exposing us for it, a team that doesn't necessarily need to rely on set pieces to score, I'm very worried about the teams that do rely on set pieces to score. And there are plenty of
Yeah.
them in the Premier League. Teams that don't have great clinical strikers or don't have players that can go for these elaborate switches of play like Bayern have.
Mm.
Teams that will just wait for these dead ball situations, and they have been working on them for weeks, right, ahead of these games, and they will expose us even more than Bayern have. Have Bayern even done anything that special? I don't think they have. They've just gone for back post clip balls where all of a sudden, a player's blocked off, and then we leave only one or two guys to defend, an onslaught of Bayern players rushing towards the back post. It's not even that complicated, it seems like, on what they're doing. And like I said, when we come up even against a Steve Cooper, someone who I don't even really rate as a manager, if I were him, that's all I'd be working on coming up against Spurs or just set pieces. Any situation that you get, hope that you can take advantage of it because it really is shocking to see.
Just,
Zoe,
just
remember,
quickly,
yeah.
just quickly, Bergval, Romero, and Van de Ven are all in the tunnel. Looks like they're all ready to enter the fray.
Well, maybe some reinforcements coming in. Zoe, member for 33 months. Thank you so much, Zoe, for your support for this channel. Sorry it's under these circumstances sometimes when people do use the milestone memberships, but Zoe, you've been through plenty of roller coasters with us. I know you have. And she's saying Ben Davies, nothing more. That's what she said. Very kind of you, Zoe, to not even just use it on Ben Davies. But is that a reflection of, I mean, Ben Davies is not at fault for everything that's happened today, but it's more a reflection of, again, Dave, leaving the left-sided center back position open to a guy like him, someone who just shouldn't really be here anymore, someone who really, has had his long time at Spurs. I don't know why he's still at the club. And again, I'm not blaming anything that's really happened today on Ben Davies, but if I watch back some of the goals, maybe he does bear some responsibility. But it is a reflection of Spurs, again, just being too sentimental, not ruthless enough, and keeping guys like him around. Why don't we have, I don't know, you just saw, what is it, Jean-Claire Todibo, right, going to West Ham, as a defender. Or you have other guys, going around the league as sort of backup defenders to the people that they already have in place. Spurs just keep a guy like Ben Davies around as the backup. It just doesn't make sense.
Look, this has been one of my biggest frustrations. It's a pointless experiment every single preseason. We know what he's going to deliver when he's on the pitch. I've actually got the point. I don't even blame Ben Davies anymore. I'll blame the club. If you're going to allow someone like that to stay around for the mediocre performances, then you're just setting a precedent of any player coming in the door. It's okay, don't perform. Sit around for 10 years. We'll still pay you your big contract. If I'm Ben Davies and I know I'm not good enough at this level, I'm going to do everything I can to stay. I don't blame him, but the club love him because he goes out and does all the PR work for them, the media work and stuff like that. And unfortunately, this is the year we're fucking in football. It's embarrassing, to be brutally honest with you. And the one moment in that half that summed him up for me, and like Jack said, I agree with him. He's not at fault by any means for a lot of what we've seen. But one thing that summed it up for me is Pedro Porro, Dragusin, and even Jed Spence on the opposite side all keep a defensive line. Mateus Tell is offside. Ben Davies is back 15 yards, thinking he's the hero. He's the one going to be saving everything, when really he's the problem because he's the only one that hasn't kept that defensive line. He's kept Mateus Tell on side, and he's given them a free opportunity at our goal. It's just brain dead. It drives me insane.
Thank you for, what is it, at this point, nearly 3 years of support, Zoe, as a member. We really do appreciate you. And we'll get to some of the Paul Marquis as well as Artist Super Chat. I just want to get synced up here. You can sync up with us now. The second half has started. Apologies not getting to some of these sooner, everybody. But again, it's a lot of question marks that we had
just
to address.
A lot to say.
And we try to give you guys the best sort of answers that we can without rushing through them. Artist saying worst half under Ange, playing like a high school team. I mean, 2 times now that he has, I think, Vincent Kompany has gotten the tactics spot on against us 2 times in a row now. And that's not even someone who I exactly rated, because at his Burnley team were probably worse at times last year than even Sheffield United, it felt like. They were one of the worst teams, and he spent like over 100 million on that Burnley team, and he did not look like much of a a manager, tactical master, of any kind. And he's exposed us now on 2 occasions. It's only preseason, but that does give me worries because I don't even know if I necessarily rate Vincent Kompany actually that high as a manager yet. Maybe he will prove me wrong, but at Burnley, his team was not really anything special. And he spent a lot of money on that team as well. And he ended up getting, released. So, or I guess he took the Bayern job, but I don't even know if his job was really that tenable even at a Bayern Munich. Just a moment, though. Timo!
Oh!
Jeez.
Oh, so unlucky. He skinned absolutely 2 players alive there. That's unlucky. We made a lot of changes. We will get to them in a minute, announce them. I'm just trying to work out all the changes we made. But RST, look, I hope there's an element that some of them were saving themselves for the Leicester game, because if not, it's hard to know what start we're going to make to the season, my man. But like Jack was saying, there's just little things we need to work on, and hopefully we see improvements, man.
Paul Markey saying, Ugarte is a monster number 6 who creates and intimidates opponents. Terry Yorath style. We don't have a player like this in the team.
No, look, that's a fair point. Ideally, for me, I would like 2 options. One that is solidly defensively, and one that's a deep lying playmaker, to have the options for both teams. Because when you're playing against a lower league team, there's no need for that defensive midfielder. You need that ball playing midfielder in there. Ideally, I would like the 2 options, Paul Markey. I'm just trying to say right now, with the way the midfield is asked to play, which is just sitting there and block up the middle, is it actually going to solve a problem? Because a lot of our problems is the space we give them out wide. Because we give them so much space, they're almost up to the edge of our area before anyone gets out there. And then when you pull people out the middle like we do to get out there, we're then exposed then through the middle. Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Look, I'm not against it. I would love an Ugarte in here, Paul Markey. I'd love it, but I just don't think we're going to sign it.
I feel like we deserve to give Paul Markey like a sort of Ugarte highlight reaction or something if we can.
He has a great eye for players, though, and
especially South Americans.
Stuff,
especially South Americans. That's kind of where his expertise does lie.
Good ball. Oh,
get there.
It's ricocheting. It's still bouncing. Oh, but big up Paul Markey.
His expertise is in South America as well, Paul Markey. That's often where his suggestions do come from, and I definitely trust him a lot there. Brian Dempsey just earlier. Hopefully we can find them, and if not, I will look them up.
I have them here. Derek Smith, Cyrus, Mark, Rob Frank, AB15. That's the first 5, and then Rakdos Madness has also gifted out 1 to Scott Collins, and then I think there might be...
He gifted out another 5 after that, Rakdos Madness, Alan has.
So big up Brian Dempsey, and people, please make sure you thank Brian Dempsey for them memberships. It's a really nice way to be able to support the channel, but also help more and more people get involved. So what a legend. Scott Colliver, make sure you thank Rakdos Madness for that as well. Al, great to see you, by the way. Hopefully you've enjoyed your summer. You've been away on a lot of holidays. And he's also gifted out 5 to Edward, Roy Park, Jim Van de Bowden, what a name, Liston Hines, and Sports Lover as well. So guys, make sure you thank Al on that. Big up, Al. Good to see you, and guys, do check out his channel, Team Tottenham Go.
And like we said, there's only a week left until the season kicks off. So you have any anxieties, any frustrations, any concerns, any hope, whatever you lie on this season, please take advantage of Brian's generosity, Alan's generosities. Please check out also Alan's channel, Team Tottenham Go. He's a really good guy, also a fellow great Spurs fan, a fellow Yank alongside myself. And so, Alan, really appreciate you as well as Brian Dempsey for being so good to us, and also just spreading the love around the community, right? Not even just sending in your thoughts, but also, showing the love to the rest of anybody else that may want to come on, have their say. We just had a debut recently from that guy, Eugene, who was incredible. Loved what he had to say, and would like to see many more debuts and many more people come on. So please take advantage of the generosity. Fan show will be next week. We're running them once a week. We're going to be running them regularly. I like to think that we do some of the better fan shows around and that people seem to enjoy them. So please come on, have your say with us, and especially ahead of the season, give us your predictions, give us your thoughts, your concerns, whatever it may be. Please take advantage of that. Tin Man 007. Guys, nothing has changed. Could be a long season ahead. Sack the set piece coach, get Eze and a defensive midfielder, as well as a number 8 and a number 2 to Vicario. Yeah, when you think about it, right? Vicario not playing so well right now. He might need, a bit of a fire up his ass. And he's also saying that, yeah, Dave, Eze is needed straight away, another defensive midfielder, and a number 8. I mean, some people have brought up the defensive midfielder already today, so Tin Man, you wouldn't be alone in that. in that regard. A number 8 would also be needed, I guess. Technically, you have Bentancur as well as Sarr to compete with there, also Bergvall, but I do feel your concern there with the midfield. The midfield has been very exposed today, and the set piece coach, Dave, I mean, whoever the hell it is, it just can't be, they can't be in a job any longer, whoever's in charge of that.
Well, first of all, we need to get one Tin Man 007. That's half our problem. We're using guys in the club. And again, it's just so naive. Like, we've had this problem since Jose Mourinho. It's 3 or 4 managers now, this problem precedent. So it's clear whoever's on them in the background, it ain't working. It needs to be changed. The man just come out and said he doesn't want to work with them. I don't understand why. I think he should bring in a set-piece specialist. He brought in a winger specialist and Harry Kewell to work with wingers at Celtic to teach them to be able to ride contact instead of going down all the time. And that's true, by the way. You can go and listen to Harry Kewell speak about it on a podcast. Just type it in, you'll find it. So I don't understand why he's against bringing in a set-piece specialist. And even if you don't want to bring in a set-piece specialist, I mean, bring them into a room for 4 hours in the morning, point out how many times they're exposed at the back post, drill it into their heads to make them alert for it going forward. Look, it just annoys me, Tin Man. And look, 100%. One thing I do want to say is, Angie is only as good as the signers that we bring in. He got what he had last season to 5th. It's now up to the club to deliver the signings this summer to help improve from 5th to further up the table, Tin Man. This isn't all on Ange Postecoglou. There are things that Ange Postecoglou needs to sort out within himself and have a look in the mirror himself. But it's also on the club. Have they done enough this window to help push us forward? And that's why a lot of fans are upset with this window so far. So it's a twofold problem. But Tin Man, I would love someone like an Eze. I think he would just alleviate a lot of the pressure. It'd put a smile on my face. Anyway, Sonny in behind here, though.
First touch has not been great for Sonny today.
No, it's been off today. But big up, Tin Man. Great to see you, by the way. Great to see you.
Thanks for supporting the channel for as long as you have as well, Tim, man. You've been very good to us over these years, man. And I don't blame you after, the last preseason game, and it feels very similar to the previous Bayern game, right? And Bayern are a good litmus test, as people pointed out from, the beginning of this preseason campaign. And they have been a litmus test for us. They certainly have. They have. They've given us plenty to think about, plenty. And thank you for your support, man. And I think a lot of you would agree with, I think pretty much everybody would agree with some of the suggestions you made, from sacking the set piece coach. We've already talked about that plenty, to the defensive midfielder, to the number 2 to Vicario. I think that's been brought up by plenty. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be nodding your head to what you've said in there. And Alexander Villaras, thank you so much for your support, as well as a member, Alexander. I think you've been in the members only live streams a lot of recent as well. So thank you, Alexander, for supporting us. And he's saying, this is unacceptable. We need to be fighting for the badge.
Yeah, I absolutely spot on. Like, a lot of that in the first half, I thought we were lazy. I thought there was a lot more I could have called out. I thought Brendan Johnson was very lazy in the press. I thought Madison was very lazy in the press going after the ball. Papa Matasar, which is not something I can usually aim at him, I thought was very, very lazy trying to get out pressure on the ball. Son, I thought, has been lazy as well, tracking back and trying to get pressure on the ball. We create our own problems. There is an element to it that these guys need to fight for the badge. You speak about loving the club. Sometimes we don't want to hear words. We want to see actions. And hopefully we can see a bit of a better fight back than what we're currently seeing right now, lad.
And before Dave and I get back into watching this game and giving you guys our play-by-play, I just want to say, everybody, thank you so much for the support. Thanks so much for coming over here, choosing us as your destination. If you can for us, smash the like button if you do enjoy these watch-alongs, even in circumstances like this. And then also, please, everybody, take advantage of Alan's generosity, Rakdos Madness, and take advantage of also Brian Dempsey's generosity by coming on the fan show. If you want to have your say, please do, everybody, because I really do enjoy when people do that, giving out, sort of the generosity of having an opportunity to have your say and come on camera. Doesn't even need to be on camera, just having your voice heard, really. And please, everybody, take advantage of that and do thank them as well.
Big up. And then we got one there for 1 second. Bayern Munich on the attack. It's a good ball in. No one there to mark that runner coming in. We're lucky it's gone all the way across the face of goal. Spence with a poor clearance, though. It's another ball in. Plays it in behind for Gnabry, and we're caught sleeping. It's a good save from Vicario there. Very good save. Caught sleeping there. And we've got this from Paul Mark. He says, our problem is simple. Johan Lang is a waste of space. Get the Dom back pronto. Look. Me and Jack
We
tried
love
to
the
say
Don.
Paratici would be good for this football club. Across what he's tried to do, we've highlighted as we've gone along, not only the signings, the outgoings, but everything else he's implemented. And I'll be honest, we got absolutely ridiculed
Yes.
across the Spurs fan base for it. We were called the Paratici twins, the Paratici twits, you know, everything else. Look, all I'm saying is history or time is a great healer, my man. And now people are begging for him to be back. So hopefully now when we talk about these people, we can deal with it in a bit more context rather than emotionally.
What's even hilarious, Paul, is just the other day, actually, I think in that Parachichi video that we just did, just to sort of, cleanse our palate and, talk about some other things, I put Parachichi in as one of the kind of the tags in the video, right, for kind of the searching of the name. And I saw that actually there's been over 500 videos with the title Parachichi out as one of the tags, which really just shows how much Dave and I were going against the grain at the time. We were probably some of the only ones that were seeing what Parachichi was doing from the get-go. And this guy was really heavily criticized, but Dave and we defended his name. And I know people want us to go on tour with the squad, but maybe Dave and I actually might save up the coin and visit Parachichi and maybe his home in London or Italy, and learn off of the Don. I think that's what I'd rather do. Go visit the Don, see how he's doing, have a nice pasta, have a nice coffee, chat about squad management.
He drinks the best coffee, Jack. You can tell, triple espressos. He's all over it.
I need his headphones too, Dave. He's got the goated headphones whenever he's on those phone calls too. But Paul Markey, I found it hilarious. Over like 500 something videos made with Parachichi out as one of the taglines. I just thought that's insane.
I think that's more so. If we call him Don, he gets called Con. If we say the sky's blue, we get told it's pink.
Yeah. So, but we have been on the Parachichi just like you have for as long as pretty much anybody else. And with Johan Lange, listen, I'm going to give him time. I think he had to come in and he had to fix the homegrown problems that Steve Hitchen left behind. When it comes to the recruitment, I do question some of the, homegrown signings he's made. Me personally, though, I am a big Solanke fan, so we'll see if that ends up working out. And we'll only see with Johan Lange. But I do agree that Parachichi, he just did things a bit differently. And he did things kind of with that almost workaholic type mentality, which is what we needed around at the club. The guy just never stopped working. Even when he's banned from football, he never stops working. He's just that much of a madman.
What I will say, Paul Mark, I think it's something we have to take into consideration if we're going to judge Lange, or whatever you want to call him, Langer, I don't care, fairly, is he's got a really tough job to do. He has to take us from 5th to challenging for trophies. He has to make all them right decisions. It's not like when Paratici came in, he had a black design what he wanted and go about it. This guy has to make small improvements and he has to almost get every single decision 100% right. So he does have a much tougher job, Paul Markey.
Yeah. And then thank you, Paul, for the support today, sir. And Rakdos Madness, man, you've been really, really kind to us today. Really appreciate you, Alan. Hopefully you're doing all right in the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so let me know if you're ever up in Seattle.
Another holiday.
Yeah, let me know if you're ever up in Seattle, Alan. I would love to have a chat with you. And he's saying, hi, Dave and Jack. I love you guys. I think Solanke will help tremendously in the final third, something we have been needing today. Do you think Austin can start over Vicario in the season? I'm not really that keen on Austin personally, Rakdos. My thing is with him is that in these bigger games, and these haven't even been regular kind of, games with any consequence of any kind, he still has made mistakes. You look at the game against Newcastle, that postseason friendly. I thought he made a big mistake there. Then you also looked at some of the preseason games where he did look good with certain saves, but he also made some mistakes as well. I just think when it actually is real in-game scenarios, I do worry about him. And if he really was good enough, I think Spurs would have already given him more chances than just the preseason. And another thing, too, I don't want to, rant about Austin too much here and shoot this down, but the fact that also no club has really gone in for him as like either a transfer, a loan spell, or anything like that of any significance, I think also maybe tells us something about what maybe the general footballing community may think of his actual skill level. I know that sounds harsh. You're welcome to disagree with me. But yeah, I'm not too keen on Austin. I'm actually more keen on one of our younger goalkeepers, either Josh Keeley or Luka Gunter. But I don't even know if they're exactly ready yet, because with the goalkeeping position, it's very different from outfield positions where you can you need a lot of time to develop and you need a lot of time to learn and kind of, figure out, you have to make some mistakes in a sense, and you have to learn how to play in a different way than sometimes other positions do. So for me, I just don't know if it's maybe the right choice. I understand though, because Vicario in the last 2 games, man, he's not looked good. So there's no excusing it. There is no excusing it. But I do think we need something a little bit better than Brandon Austin. And to be honest, then Fraser Forster as well. It's something that Spurs do need to look at, probably another number 2. And with the European campaign coming up, Vicario will need rest, and he will need minutes to be able to rest, from the Premier League. So it's something to think about for sure.
Yeah, I just don't think Austin is of the ability. Good ball by Bergvall. He's in. He's on fucking fire. By the way, what a ball by the other Swedish sensation, Bergvall, as well. It's just a great, simple pass. And what I love about it, people can go, so that's so simple. Obviously, Madison, Son, Johnson, everybody this game overhit them passes. It's bloody perfect way.
And he wins
it. He goes in there, dispossesses him. Good ball by Sonny. Onto Bergvall. It's a great pass and a great finish by Kulu. We're back in this game, 3-2. Big up Rackness Madness, though. Look, I don't really have too much more to what Jack says about Brandon Austin. I just think he's way off the ability to ever really make an impact at Tottenham Hotspur, to be brutally honest. I think he hasn't really covered himself in glory in pre-season, I would argue. I don't think so either on that one, Al.
Yeah. And with Kulusevski, though, Rakdos, he's gotten us back into the game. 2 goals for the Kulu, and Dave is very, very happy. Quickly on Solanke, Alan, if you haven't seen it, please check out the scout report. Very shameless and very selfish plug of myself, but I do feel like it's one of those scout reports where I put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into it, and it's someone that I knew that is a very contentious, very divided signing, but I happen to be a big fan of Solanke. I had a big soft spot for him last season when he was with the Raiola. I even liked him under Gary O'Neill, someone who I also have a soft spot for, and there's something about Solanke's game in the last year or two that I've really enjoyed. Just a moment. Can he get there, Timo? Ooh. But yeah, I do really like Solanke, and I do think he will offer really good competition in the final third. And there's a lot to like about his game. I'll even maybe, if you haven't seen it, I'll even send you on some of my notes from it, Alan. Feel free to message Dave or I, send us an email, send us a text, send us a tweet, whatever it may be, and I'd be happy to show you why I love Solanke so much. But I wish we could see him in this game. But then again, Kulusevski, he's showing that he's still an effective forward for us. And I think it's good that we actually will have this upcoming season, Alan. We will have 3 decent forwards to pick from. We'll have Solanke, Richarlison, and if need be, Kulusevski to pick from. And I think that's a good situation we find ourselves in. Thank you so much for the support, by the way, Alan. You've been really, really kind to us. And like Sean, like Tyler, like so many of the other wonderful Yanks and Americans in this community, you've been a really great addition to it. And you've been a very welcome member to us. And we really are really glad that you support us in the way that you do. And even the fact that you come in during these watch-alongs to just pick us as your destination. We really appreciate you, Alan. And thanks for also spreading the love to the rest of the community with the gifted memberships. That was really kind of you, man. Sorry, we're just getting distracted here because this game has just not stopped, Alan. It's just been end to end.
We will get back to commentary in 2 minutes, guys. Just give us a moment. We'll get to the next 2 super chats and we'll get back to commentary. Dark Sung G has put one in there. Big up, Aldo. Really appreciate support. And hopefully you're enjoying yourself, my man.
Dark Sun G saying, our back 4 is Gray, Cudi Romero, Van de Ven, and Udoji. Very interesting. Gray so far, Dark Sun G, at least in just preseason, he's actually looked better as a center back than he did as a number 6. He played very well in the other games as a center back because he's smart in possession. He's taller than you think. He's more physical than you think. He's not afraid of the tackle, and he's aggressive, kind of like a Cudi Romero as well. So I have no problem with Gray being in the back line. It looks like he's being used more as a right back in this case, as maybe more of an inverted fullback. That's something we saw him play for Leeds United. And what's nice about Gray is he has...
Oh, no. Barvaz asking to be taken off.
Or is he asking for someone else to be?
I think he's asking to come off. I think he's carrying a bit of a knock. He's pointed down to his Achilles. Or is he asking for his boots? Oh, his boots are snapped. That's okay.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was feeling an injury. It felt like something else.
He was just doing this motion. Usually that means substitution.
Yeah, not good. Yeah, not good. Oh, no, it is maybe.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, but he's not injured for a long time.
No, we've been needing him.
That's the second injury he's picked up on preseason now.
He's been excellent,
Well
though.
done, though, Bergvall.
Any opportunity we've got to witness Bergvall, he has been excellent. This is sad to see.
Oh. Yeah, he's pointing to the bottom of his foot. I think he's feeling it. Maybe it's not his Achilles. Maybe it's just the bottom of his foot.
Or is it Kulusevski that was taken off for Mikey Moore?
Oh, maybe it was Kulusevski taking off for Mikey Moore. Maybe Bergvall's just changing his boots. We'll get confirmation.
We do not know how to read Bergvall, guys. We'll get
Great.
better as the season goes on. We have no idea what Bergvall means, but we know he plays beautiful football. We just have no idea what his hand motions mean.
Oh, yeah, he's just changing his boots. Okay.
We'll get better at interpreting Bergvall the more the season goes on.
He did make the substitution
I
sign,
know,
though.
Dave. It was so many mixed messages. But Archie Gray, seeing him he's an intelligent player, Dark Sun G. He's such an intelligent player. He can play so many positions. And I'm really excited about the Archie Gray signing. And
Looks
we'll
like
see
Mikey
if he
Moore's
can
gone
make
up
the
front.
impact. Yeah.
Interesting. Big up, though, Dark Sun G. Good to see Romero and Van de Ven back on the pitch, though, first and foremost. It's great to see them back on the pitch, back in action. Just, I hope they're ready for the big game next Monday night, lad.
And the Belgian Hotspur saying, Solanke thinking hat-trick every game or we lose. Oh, jeez. A lot of pressure you're putting on the Belgian. You're putting on Solanke. But listen, I mean, sometimes Ange Postecoglou's style of tactics can feel that way, where you do feel like you have to score 3 to 4 goals to really get that sort of feeling of comfort. And I think that's... Oh, just a moment here, though. Oh, referee, are you serious? He just has to be a Bayern fan at this point, because he's not even giving them a single yellow card. He's given us yellow cards, and then he's giving fouls like this that aren't even fouls. It's a clean challenge.
Even Skip straight away screaming at the referee.
Oh, my Lord. Sonny as well having to appeal to the referee. This is just ridiculous with the ref. But Solanke... Sometimes it feels that way with the style of play of the Belgian, that we have to score a lot of goals in order for the players to feel confident, but also for the other team to lose that sort of confidence that they can get back into the game. Whereas with maybe other styles of play or other tactics, right, it's kind of just getting that first goal, getting that second goal, and then you do feel like you're in the clear because you're not a team that will concede many chances or concede many opportunities, where we are a team that concedes a ton of chances and a ton of opportunities to the opposition. Yeah. So it does sometimes feel that way, where we do have to score a ton of goals. Solanke, though, one funny stat about Solanke, though, the Belgian, is he scored more goals than any single player outside of the top 4. So any club that had a striker outside the top 4, he scored more than any of the rest of them. And then on top of that, if you look at non-penalty goals, he scored more than Cole Palmer, scored more than Sonny, scored more than Salah. He scored more than plenty of players. And he actually, with non-penalty goals, he only scored 3 fewer than Erling Haaland of Man City, the league winners. So Solanke came off a wonderful, wonderful season. Can he replicate it with Spurs? I guess we'll find out. Bergvall is actually down this time, and it does look serious.
It looks very serious. Straight away, everyone motioned to get people on.
Is it like a concussion protocol again, though, Dave? Because he's like coughing?
I don't know. I think he's getting sick. Yeah, he's coughing and everything.
It's like he's choking, or he's... It's not like it's a twisted ankle or something. It's like, he's...
No, he just went down.
Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him from something?
Yeah, maybe someone done something to him. Maybe a sly elbow or twisted the balls or something. That's quite common in football sometimes.
Well, it's not like the referee is here to protect us, because he doesn't seem to care.
Straight away, though, Bayern and Tottenham players turn to call for people to get on the football pitch. He's pointing at his throat there.
Of course, the referee didn't cop onto it. He gave a foul to Bayern.
No, what's going on with Bergvall? This isn't good. It's like he's struggling to breathe or something. Everyone's just looking on right now. He's drinking anyway, which is good. He's standing up on his feet, but he keeps holding his chest here. Is he winded?
Thank you so much.
Has he got something maybe caught in there? Has he swallowed a fly? I've done that a few times on watch-alongs.
He swallowed a fly. Thank you so much, Belgian, though, for the support, man. You've been so kind to Dave and I, respectively. Really appreciate you, sir. And everybody, we're sorry that maybe it took a while for us to get to some of your comments and stuff. Dave and I, we get caught up in the moment trying to, give our feedback, because you guys provide such great analysis. You guys really also, you guys do very thought-provoking, comments and opinions that do, help Dave and I really keep the conversations going. And so sorry that sometimes we don't get to them soon enough.
Yeah. But honestly, really appreciate all the support, guys. We do try and be efficient, but we also try and give our best analysis. We understand it's your hard-earned money and stuff like that, so really appreciate it. Still trying to work out. I'm baffled by what's going on with Bergvall. Baffled.
He wants to play, it seems like.
Anyone that has commentary, let me know what they were saying, please.
Coughing up a fur
good
ball.
Run forward. It's a poor pass. Fur ball. Come on, Skip, get across. Stop pointing.
Is that Kingsley Coman?
Well done.
Potential future Spurs player.
Van de Ven, good ball out. Yeah, I'd take him. I like him. The only thing is he's injury prone, so I want him for free. Vicario. I
want Serge Gnabry so you can stop torturing us.
That's a great out ball. Great touch by Gray.
And they got it behind him.
Oh, well done. Come on, Mikey.
Think he might have swallowed a chewing gum, says on the ground. Yeah, that's one of those things about athletes. The ones that decide to chew gum while playing,
I don't think he'll be doing that again.
Not everybody can be Ancelotti.
I don't think he'll be chewing gum and playing again.
Not everybody can be as calm and composed as Carlo.
Over 500 in-house, guys. Really appreciate it. Keep smashing that like button. Do all that good stuff for the algorithm for us. Hopefully we can go and get that equalizer. Let's salvage something from this game at least.
Can we get a Kulu hat trick for Dave and all the Decky defenders?
We can't. He's on the bench, unfortunately, now, Jack.
Yeah, I forgot.
You'll have to get... If Mikey Moore scores... Jesus Christ, I'm doing my best Bergvall impression.
Dave.
Yeah. If Mikey Moore scores, I'll take it as a Kulu hat trick, though. Come on, son. Get after that. Oh.
Sonny looks like he's playing up top now.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because we don't have Solanke available or Richarlison.
Gray opens up his body. Has to go backwards to Berg or all the way to Vicario.
The Belgian Hotspur wants Timo Weenie to score for Dave. Yeah, but it's been a long time since we've seen Dave on the dance floor.
No, it has. It has. A hell of a long time. I'll probably be out of breath. I'm not in shape for it, Belgian. Tottenham go along here, though. No challenge on that. You got a challenge for that, Werner. Gray. Get it forward.
Oh, and behind for Doji.
Come on, Destiny.
Find him.
Look at him. Look at him.
It's a little heavy. Timo Weenie.
A little heavy. Werner, go to the byline.
Can he get it back in? It's out for a corner.
Corner kick.
Heavy, way too heavy by Doji. He really fired it into him, but it
just
wasn't
has
a great
to keep
touch.
that on the ground as well. I don't know why he's lofting it.
Yeah, Timo didn't have the best of touches, but I feel like it's more on Doji there.
It just needed to be a softer pass so Timo can take that in his stride. Don't shoot Van de Ven.
That is not necessary.
He can hit them. He can't hit them. We've seen that last season, but not from there.
It is the 73rd minute, so I guess, you do at some point. I got to think.
Big up Danny Darko saying big up to the great community and the commentary. Big up, my man. Love that. Skunkwork says he wants more IKEA meatballs, more Swedish. Yeah, definitely, for sure.
We also do have the stats up on screen for you guys if need be, of course. I mean, it's been a very one-sided effort from Bayern Munich in terms of the possession as well as the shots.
Well, look, if we can nick a result here, I'll take it.
Oh, of course.
Even under Pochettino, we were slapped by Bayern Munich. What was it, 7-2 or something like that,
Yeah.
Oh, great footwork. Oh, who's that? Was that Archie Gray or Romero? Gray. That was saucy. Oh, brilliant footwork by Archie.
Vincent Kompany, he's gone for he really likes the American look, Vincent Kompany. He likes the baseball cap, the shorts.
No, he wears the baseball cap because of how funny his head is shaped.
But then he's gone for the high shorts, Dave. I kind of like a high short like that. Vincent Kompany's man after white socks as well. He's man after my own heart. Maybe
look, if I had legs like that, Jack, I'd be going high shorts myself. Unfortunately, no one wants to see me in high shorts. They'd be like hot pants on me.
Yeah. Oh, good pressure. See, Bergvall, though, Madison, I didn't think even played that poorly in the first half, but you do see the work rate difference between him and Bergvall.
Massively. And it's a huge asset. You have to have that work rate.
Good tracking back from Timo. Sorry.
Like if Madison doesn't want to do that work rate, Jack, then he has to excel in possession, but he's not doing either. So if you're not excelling in possession, you have to work like a dog out of possession.
Good tracking back from Timo.
Yeah.
The yank look, says Daniel. It is a yank look. I go for the high shorts and the white socks. I can't blame it,
A lot of
Daniel.
people,
I have
a lot of
confidence in my
people wear that
legs.
over here too. You know, shorts with white socks. I only wear white socks. I don't wear any other color.
Probably too much confidence in my legs, Daniel.
Jack probably has them all tanned and shaved.
Definitely not shaved, but tanning, it starts out as a sunburn, and then eventually, if I'm lucky, it turns to a tan.
There's no tan line on Jack's legs. Oh, it's a
Oh,
free kick. Oh, I thought that was in.
woo.
I was about to say, how the fuck did that beat Vicario?
Joshua Kimmich. Is that even a defensive midfielder that Spurs be interested in, or any Spurs fans would be? He's had a hell of a game today, Joshua. Wow, hits off the post.
Oh.
I don't think it was ever headed in because it hit the very side of the post, but Eric Dyer's on. Here's our chance.
Massive chance. Let's get at them. Danny Darko, I seen you ask me what was for dinner earlier. Well, I have to head out. Basically, my mate has a new missus and he's introducing her, so I have to go and do all the gratitudes and stuff like that. And then I'll probably get home a little bit late. And then when I do get home, I'll be uploading the fan cam. So while I'm uploading the fan cam, I'm going to have a spice bag, actually, today.
Oh, so jealous. Joris, Belgian Hotspur Dave, saying that if Timo Weenie scores, you need to do a Werner on the dance floor in the short shorts.
Do you know what? I actually think I have really good legs, because I've played sports all my life, even in my later life. I do a lot of walking and hiking and stuff with my outlet. So I've actually got good legs. It's just the upper half that lets me down.
Would the dance moves let you down, Dave, or people would be impressed by that?
I'll be honest, I'm very stiff, Jack, but if I'm in a good mood and I don't care what people think, I'll let loose. But I'll be honest, I'm not really known to frequent the dance floor. You actually get more dancing out of me on the watch-alongs than you do when I used to go out.
Tadaris to do or outer as Fashare says Dyer got booed.
Good.
That's hilarious if that's actually true.
If the Spurs fans should have let me know that was a course of action today. If it was, I would have been over there. Would have joined in.
Oh,
would have had the loudspeaker. Get it across.
Oh, nearly Archie Gray.
Oh, unlucky. He's had a good game at right back, actually.
Mark saying Jack wears Speedos. Now, I do not do that when it comes to...
It's too far, Mark.
When it comes to the swim trunks, I have a different policy. I have a very different policy. When it comes to the running shorts, I am I'm not Speedo, but I'm definitely high shorts, but definitely not that far. And when it comes to swim trunks, I'm not that. It's just not me. Americans as well. I don't think Americans are big fans of the Speedo.
If anyone's seen the video of the guy that jumped into the Olympic pool to pull out the hat and seen the shorts he was wearing, that's definitely Jack. I can see it. And he was so proud in them as well. He loved them. It's like he was waiting for that moment.
Big H. Dave, I heard your comments on Last Word on Spurs the other night. I mean, you'd be surprised to hear this. Dave, I mean, he has no love lost for Harry Kane. Or he does have love lost. It's the other term. You do have love lost for Harry Kane. All your love has been lost for Harry Kane.
He rejected me, Jack. I was devoted. To the guy, and he just pushed me away. And at the end of the day, I'm the same with every Spurs player. Once you leave Tottenham, I actually don't really care how you get on, to be brutally honest. I only care how Tottenham players are getting on. Ironically, actually, people call me a Harry Kane fanatic, but since Harry Kane has left, you haven't seen any tweets on my Twitter and stuff. You go to other people's Twitter page, there's loads more about Kane.
I know you were.
I think people were hiding their love for the guy.
We had so much that we were talking about during the pre-match build-up, but when Dave, you called yourself either a Johnson hater or a Madison hater, I forget which one, and then I wanted to interrupt you and say I think you're more of a Harry Kane hater at this point. It was very funny. I loved hearing that comment from Last Word on Spurs. My eyebrows really raised.
I think I shocked a lot of people. I think they're expecting a lot longer of an answer out of me and stuff.
So if you think Dave hates,
quick to the point.
If you think Dave hates Johnson, turns out he hates Harry Kane even more baffling.
He's gone now. That's it.
Sonny. Wow, that's nice to see, though.
Kane's asking him to move to Bayern. Fuck off. I know he is. Come to Bayern. I need you.
The best duo, the best partnership in my whole lifetime up front. Oh, good try from Skip. He's actually had an all right game, Skip.
Lancashire came on for Sonny there, everybody.
Yeah.
Get in there, Bergval.
Sonny and Harry Kane, everyone, the greatest striking partnership I've ever seen in my lifetime. And that's even actually including other Premier League partnerships to a degree as well, like better than Drogba and Lampard. You know, it's one of the best of all time. We took it for granted. We did take it for granted, Sonny and Kane together. But here, can we get the third? Can we get a Lancashire third?
Get after them now. Lancashire, Mikey Moore, Bergval, any one of them. Great. Keep me really happy.
Oh,
that's a great
Skippy
challenge.
absolutely taking him out. Get there, Gray.
That's it, Gray. Now your turn.
Well done.
Well
Get there,
done.
kid. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
unlucky.
Hit the gym.
Well done, Skip.
Oh, I love it. That's it, Skippy. Now's your turn. Oh, you pulled out. You wuss. You absolute wussy.
I think he got beat out for pace there. That's what it was.
Slide him. Take him out. Do something.
Well, they're probably afraid that the referee's going to send them off the way that he's been refereeing this game for them. Archie Gray, good ball. Oh, what a touch from Mikey Moore.
That's great.
Oh, what a
that's it. Get in at him. Come on, now's our time.
Look at the pressure Bergval puts on.
Oh, Lucas.
Oh, look at the feet.
That's so sexy.
Find
Oh, it's sexy.
Oh,
get out wide. Lancashire, get out wide. Get out wide. Someone, please, Werner. He wants it. Give it to him. Give it to him.
They hate
Oh, my, please.
They hate him.
Why won't they pass him the ball?
Timo Werner, he's
so
always
in
behind, but they never play him in. He's always in. They never play him.
What play by Bergval, though. Not only did he show him the weight room, he also showed him how to take on players. Brilliant. Step overs, great pass, brilliant.
Bergval, the difference between him and Madison is the work rate. Even if Madison is playing a good game on the ball, it's just the work rate from Bergval is just so much more than Madison's. The guy is just a beast. I mean, the strength he even has. Like, Dave and I were surprised by the size of him when he first came in. I thought he wasn't going to be as big as he is. Kid's a baller.
He's so good. He's an absolute baller.
He's coughing
and he can handle himself.
He's coughing up
level,
flies. He's coughing up loogies. You know, he's an absolute beast.
The big thing for a youngster is not to be out-muscled. When you look at some of our youngsters, Moore hasn't been, Gray hasn't been, especially Bergval. It's a good sign that they can hold themselves physically. He's a specimen.
I think Madison...
He needs to have a statue.
I think Madison actually had an all right game. It's just I do notice the difference in the work rate between the two of them.
Bergval's just so much more involved in everything.
Yeah. Bentancur. All the way back to Romero, who's not really a great pass there, but he did have to escape trouble, to be fair, Bentancur. Archie Gray. Into Bentancur. Gray. That's risky.
I think Bergval's also got more assists than Madison this preseason. He's had less minutes.
Uh-oh. Harry Kane.
Oh.
Nearly.
Please don't let him score. Please don't. I do hope his family have a nice day out, though. I know a lot of them are Tottenham fans and they're at the game today. Hopefully they're having a great day. Without me.
Looks like he fixed the hairline a little bit over the summer.
Nah, I don't know who he's using in Germany, but it's not right. He needs to come back.
He needs to find a Turkish barber. He needs to find a Turkish barber in Germany because they could definitely fix the hairline for him.
I'm sure his barber's looking at that going, oh my God, Harry, you've just let it go altogether.
I mean, Mikey Moore's touches there even are just like
so good.
It's like glued to his foot there, and then he still gets out from pressure.
So good. Danny Darkos says, David Jack never leave us for Sky Sports when they come calling. Believe me, Sky Sports will probably be more coming for Jack than me. You know, Jack's more polished. They won't be able to control me. That's a problem.
Now that they heard my opinions about Speedos, I'm not so sure though.
I'm only messing. I'm getting better with my wording and stuff like that. Maybe one day, but you know, I'd never ditch this channel to do Sky Sports. Never.
Uh-oh. Bergval, here we go.
Oh,
what a beast, man.
He's so good.
Find Timo Weenie if you can. It's hard. Timo's got to get on his horse a lot sooner.
He's so good, Bergval. He has to start against Leicester. He needs to start over Madison against Leicester. Be brave, Ange. Be brave.
Daniel Larson was saying earlier he's got that Targaryen blood, if anyone gets the reference. Oh,
Take him out.
Udoji
I'll
as
do.
well,
Don't you
Dave.
dare,
Another
ref.
young player. Look at the
Ah,
strength from
definitely.
Udoji. Oh, it's the
Oh, it's a
wrong
ball pass,
option.
though. It's just
It's
sloppy.
the wrong
He's done
option as
all the
well.
right things there. He's done everything.
Not
That's
sure
it,
who
Rami.
this
You're lining
player
it up.
is.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's absolutely mixed us, whoever that was. Not sure who it
You
is.
just know when Romero's lining up a slide tackle. He just burst into action out of nowhere. I love it. It's so funny. You can just see the smash coming from a mile away.
Dark Sun G saying Bergvall is a level ahead of anyone else's age. He is a gem. I mean, Dark Sun G, he might single-handedly be one of the best 10 million and under signings I think we have literally ever made. I mean, I mean, at one point, I mean, it would be a long time until he gets to this sort of level, but it's almost like we need to start coming up with a similar song that we did with Dele Alli, you know, with a guy like this. It's just that ridiculous how good he is. And also just a diamond, an absolute diamond in the rough. What a signing. And the kids, like his first touch to his creative ability to how good he is kind of defensively, he's just all action, Dark Sun G. He's brilliant. He doesn't stick out at all at this level.
I think he can lead the Bergvall. Oh, go on.
Good
Will
pass from
Lancashire.
Timo. I will say
Great,
Timo's been a lot brighter than some of the other wingers have.
They just won't pass to him properly. It's annoying. But you're spot on about the chant, Jack. Maybe we can reword that and you can get it sent into Spurs song sheets. Get it going.
Romero.
There we go. Play it.
Oh,
well done, Mikey Moore. Back to Mikey Moore. Get your head up. It's a good ball.
Oh, it was like a mix of a shot and a cross, it felt like, from Mikey Moore. Kind of a mix of the
Dark
two.
Sun G on Bergvall. Look, it is important that we all get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's hard not to get excited when you see what he's bringing to this team at this level against Bayern Munich. You know, some people say when it comes to Bergvall and praise, oh, it's only Bayern Munich. But then when we lose the game, that same thing won't be there. Look, for me, I think he looks exceptionally promising. And if we can keep this guy fit, keep him focused, he's going to be a fucking amazing player for Tottenham in the future. Amazing. Come on, let's get one more opportunity. Kulu, you legend.
Yeah, good performance from Kulu for the most part.
He
missed the opportunity, though, to get an assist today. Good finishing from him. Good work rate from Kulu. Great work rate. I don't have too many negatives to say, but he did have 2 moments where he should have gotten an assist. Either to Sonny.
Again, it's that right foot, Jack. He just won't use it.
But then the one time when he had the left foot across to Johnson, he just got it all wrong.
Yeah.
And that should have been a tap-in for Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson probably would have been able to finish it, but then we just didn't even get the chance to find out whether he would have or not. It's disappointing.
We've seen him miss from 2 yards out last season.
Exactly. That's why I was kind of going to make that joke. You never know if Johnson finishes it or not, but you have to put it on Kulu there for not giving him the chance.
Come on, Spurs. Please get the equalizer. Let's go all out at them now. 10 minutes added on.
Spurs GCTV saying it's also Mikey Moore's birthday tomorrow.
Yep, that's true. Turn 17. That's when he officially signs the new contract.
Can we grab an equalizer here? It's a much better performance in the second half. Yet again, I mean, it's just clockwork the way that we predicted this, though, every time. It just seems
pressure
like
on the ball.
The moment that we make these changes in midfield with the younger players, and again, once the younger players get brought in, it's like the performances just change.
It's because they bring more energy out of possession, Jack. They actively go hunting that ball to turn it over. You know, I think sometimes with the first 11, they feel like they've made it and they're a bit too comfortable to do that. Oh, well done, Mikey Moore. Getting in there, mixing it up. Great. Composure. Back to Rami. Come on, Tottenham. One last attack here. I can feel it. It's coming. Come on.
Romero.
Oh, Rami. Come on.
Back to Vicario.
That's it. Give it to him.
Lazy 8 saying, so we've seen everyone back on the pitch except Richarlison. Yeah, I believe so. Maybe Lo Celso, technically not. There are some others.
It's like the club won't play him until deadline day is over and he's officially going to be staying here. But he's already made it. He's already told people he's not going anywhere. I don't get it.
Dark Sun G saying the difference between Davies and Cootie and V2V. I mean, it's what's more frustrating. Oh, wow. Got Meg to their Timo. The difference between them is just more than night and day. It's just two different universes. It's two different galaxies, Dark Sun G. But again, like it's one of our pastimes. It's one of our easiest things to do is to blame Ben Davies. But the only thing I get frustrated about is just the fact that he isn't even in the team in the first place. You know, even if he has a good game, there's just no reason that he should still be around. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to act like he didn't play, like he's not the fault for the goals that we conceded at the end of the day. That's just the distinction I want to make. Because I know people who are Ben Davies fans would probably say that we are blaming him for the loss today, and I definitely am not. I just don't like the fact that Spurs still have him around as technically the left-sided center backup option. I just think that's just not acceptable.
No.
If you get that distinction.
It's shocking. I just don't know why he's still here. Yeah, no, 100% I get it. You know, he's nowhere near at fault for today's victory, but he's just so far off it. And it is getting to the point. It feels like whenever he plays, we're so far off the pace.
Yeah.
It does feel like that.
Or even mentality-wise as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, Dave, it feels like he's just sending souvenirs into the stands to his loyal fans.
Yeah, I think I fooled him. I told him I'll be up there in the south stand. I think he's trying to find me. Oh, great spin. Come on, Mikey. Let's go. The future. The past and the future. Oh, lucky.
Get there, Mikey.
Oh, go on again. You dog. Let's go. Oh, lucky. They're just trying to assassinate him now. Referee, please. They're trying to assassinate my man in the corner.
Well done, Lancashire. Well done, Lancashire. Love to see it. Love to see that. Love to see that.
He's absolutely bodied him.
Love to see that. Look at the size of Lancashire, actually, as well, to be fair. I mean, he could take Kingsley Coman if he wanted to.
Oh, he's
look at Mikey Moore, head to head. You love this God, man. I want the youngsters. Start all of them, man.
That's it, Rami.
Every single one of them. Start every single youngster. Look at Mikey Moore going head to head with Coman. You love to see it. Lancashire as well. I love the fight.
That's going to be my new screensaver. Mikey Moore head to head with Coman.
I mean, these kids, they just don't. They have this entire preseason, no matter who it's against, they're not intimidated. They are not intimidated by these players at this level. And they play Ange's style of football even better than the starters do. It's so impressive. I have nothing but love for these youngsters. Nothing but love on so many levels. In their work rate, to their actual quality, to their effort levels, to their just mentality, like they are composed. It's impressive. It's really impressive. I mean, these guys are everywhere from 16 to 18. It's just ridiculous. Can't even imagine what I would be like at that age.
No, it's great.
It's absurd, really, to think about.
I just love it. You can tell they love being here. They want it. Like, that's what I love. They genuinely want it. You know, with some youngsters, you see them almost scared to take their opportunity. Our guys aren't frightened at all. In fact, they're embracing it. They want it. I love it. Let's go and get an equalizer here, though. Come on, Rami. You're slowing it down. Have you been hanging around with James Madison? Good ball.
Skip. Nice.
Oh, Lord. Great ball.
It's okay. Timo.
Don't play it back to him.
There you go.
Let's go.
Left-footed poke! The Timo left-footed poke, not good enough.
I think that's it. I think that's going to be game now.
God, it's another confusing one, isn't it, everyone?
It's just, again, another game of fine margins. You know, the set pieces, the carry again, you know, playing it out from the back. You know, it's just them small fine margins where we've let ourselves down. Again, another thing to maybe think about is, why do we look so much better when we put the youngsters out there than when we're out there with our strongest 11? Like, I find it absolutely baffling to understand. The only thing I can put it down to is, like I said in this game, that the youngsters want it more. They're willing to hunt the ball, to get on the ball, to be able to shine. Whereas I don't think the first 11 give us that. When we go out, Bayern, now you have to take into account they made changes just like we did, you know, but they just want it more, in my opinion. I think that is something we have to maybe worry about or talk about or try and get to the bottom of this week.
Yeah, it's a really tough one for me yet again, where there's so many worrying signs from that first half, both for Ange tactically, for the set pieces, for certain players individually, you know, and their effort levels. I think that was brought up by like Kev G, as well as some other people, and I think it was Alexander Villaris with the super chat, you know, saying, you know, the effort levels just weren't there in the first half. You know, there's so many warning signs. Big Dom already taking photos with the fans. Nice to see. But Dave, you know what I mean? Where it's like first half, like so many warning signs. But then in the second half, just totally different. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's just weird. There seems to be a lot more of an application in the second half. Again, could it be that they're all in the dressing room? They've gotten a rollicking off hands. We've seen it last season. Night and day performances in first and second halves after a rollicking off hands Postecoglou. And I can't work it out. And if that is the case, that we keep having to go back to wait to be rollicked, again, it comes down to the leadership on the pitch. Who's on the pitch, sorting it out, organising, speaking to others. I still don't think we see enough of that or a lot of that. In fact, I think it's something that's absolutely dying in modern day football, where you can have these problems solved just by simple conversations. I don't get it. What I would say is, if I was Ange Postecoglou right now, and I'm not going to tell him how to do his job, he's much more successful at this than what I am. But I would be looking at maybe starting a Bergvall in that midfield and look to make a massive point to all that first 11. Even take out Brennan Johnson and put Mikey Moore in there for the Leicester game and make a point very early on that you're not going to tolerate a professional footballer, dropping their levels by 5-10% because they feel like they're too good to put in maximum effort to do what you want them to do. They feel like they're too good and that they can sit there and tail off because they know they're going to start against Leicester and they're trying to save injury or, energy and stuff like that. I'm sorry, it's not what Ange is trying to do. So I think Ange would do himself a massive favour by starting a Bergvall against Leicester or a Mikey Moore to really send that message out to everybody.
Yeah.
The only one that's come back this preseason with a point to prove and has done it is Kulusevski.
Yeah, no, I completely agree in that department. And Kulusevski probably did show well for himself there. I mean, it's a tough one, though, for me, Dave. I mean, it's really, really hard to judge because you have to show praise for all the people in the second half, but then you also have to show the question marks about how Ange and maybe people were kind of exposed in that first half. There were so many.
We were way off it in the first half. Way off.
And then also, it's not even just being well off it. It was also just the kind of the set pieces and, simple mistakes that we just have seen in kind of the tail end to kind of the middle of also last season. And the fact that that's still showing up is a big concern. It's a hard one. I mean, everybody, let us know, what do you take from it? Do you take more positives from the fact that, again, in the second half, we have players that we can rely on? I guess that's a good, thing to point out, that we have guys who can come on in the second half and can fix things for us. It's not like we're hopeless, right, after the first half. We have guys that can come on, make a difference. But then it's hard because then you have guys that, in the first half that are being trusted by Ange, like Brennan Johnson and other players that I don't even think played as bad as they did in other games this preseason, but you just still see it, them being well off it in comparison to, the opposition. I find it hard because I'd almost rather there be more negatives, overwhelmingly more negatives than positives, or the other way around, way more positives than there were negatives. It feels like a very 50-50 split for me for it. That's what's difficult for me. That's what's difficult.
They're just absolutely way off it, and it comes down to just effort, right? You look at it, Jed Spence in that first half and Kulusevski, probably the two standouts, would I be right?
Yeah.
Maybe people in the comments let me know. Why? Because they have a point to prove. Kulusevski's trying to nail down a position in this team, or finally nail down a position. And Jed Spence is trying to keep his Tottenham career alive. When you look at everybody else, I don't see it from them. I don't see that effort, and it's concerning to me. That's why we look so much better in the second half, because we're getting pressure on the ball. We're not allowing Bayern Munich all that space just to come falling in at us every 5 to 10 minutes or every 2 minutes every time we get the ball. And with that lack of effort, we've seen it in years gone by. It supersedes into everything else. If you're not going to put that effort in to go and press Bayern and allow them just to run at you and look to drop in and conserve energy and not really put pressure on the ball, well then are we surprised when a set piece comes that none of them are alert or switched on? I'm not. It's hereditary. Once you start slacking off in one area, it's going to be a follow-through right through. The problem is we've got so many players there that are comfortable, like Maddison. You look at Bergvall, he's got more assists this preseason and has affected games a lot more than what Maddison has, with less minutes.
Yeah,
that's just down to pure effort from Maddison. Sonny today and against Bayern Munich. Very disappointing, may I add. And defensively, I've seen Son today cop out, not getting back to help Jed Spence.
Yeah.
But he will be fine for the season. He's a good old professional. He's a solid pro. I know what I'm going to get from him. Johnson on the other side pulled out 2 tackles in the first half that both led to chances. That's not allowed to happen.
Yeah.
And again, that's nothing that Ange can sort out. That's just Johnson's nature. He's timid. He doesn't like hurting people. He just loves everyone. That's the sort of guy he is, and it's not a bad thing. But at elite level sports, you're up against nasty efforts. You have to be able to make that switch and be able to deal with it. It was poor. Bissouma started off great, but it's almost like when he starts doing things well, you just know what's coming next because he's almost too overconfident. No one to really keep him honest in there. He started off great, but he tailed off and started making sloppy mistakes.
Yeah.
Papa Sarr, I love that kid. So far off the pace in that game today. In terms of getting on the ball, even getting after the ball. One thing I loved about Sarr in years gone by, he goes and hunts that ball. He makes a nuisance of himself. So far off it. That's just down to a lack of effort. They have to take accountability for that. But also, Ange needs to drop 1 or 2 and make huge decisions to not let that seep in around the rest of the squad. That's something that can be very hereditary and spiral out of control very, very quickly. The only way to do that is go, okay, Madison, okay. On the bench, Bergwijn. That's what needs to happen. If not, the rot is going to set in.
Yeah, this is what I have to say mostly, everyone, is I think there are a lot of concerns from that first half a bit tactically because someone like Vincent Kompany, I don't exactly really rate even that highly as a manager because I thought his time at Burnley was actually quite poor in the Premier League. He did not look to be that much of a tactical mastermind. And again, like I said earlier, he spent a lot of money on that Burnley team and he didn't really show to be that much better than the other relegated teams that spent, not even half of what he spent, like Sheffield United and some of the other clubs. Then also, he really exposed, certain elements of this system where he kept, clearly instructing players to hit it out wide. Pedro Porro got really exposed down that right side. Jed Spence was getting exposed in behind. The midfield was just getting bypassed with ease. And then there are some things that aren't necessary. And also another thing on Postecoglou was the set pieces, where it's just continuing to become up as a conversation where we just don't know how to deal with them very well. We're not setting up against them well enough. Players seem to be kind of just, kind of shifting responsibility to others. There's no real onus to try to deal with the set pieces from the players. But then I also look individually, like Vicario making yet again another mistake. Yep. That's not on Ange. That's on Vicario. I don't know what he is doing in that situation. And the fact that it's the exact same mistake, I thought was really, really poor from Vicario. The fact that he made the exact same one from the previous game. You look at also Kulusevski, who had a good game going forward, but he was so bad at the back post on that set piece there. No fight, just loses his man with ease, right? It was just really poor from Kulusevski, who's a strong guy, right? He can deal with that, right? He should be able to, but he just doesn't show that effort or that fight. And that's also what some people have brought up today is, why is it that in the first half, kind of the fight was there for the first 10 minutes. Probably it's because the crowd is there. It's good vibes. I think Adrian Brown said that, the stadium was bouncing. People were feeling good. But then all of a sudden, the kind of the tempo and sort of the pace of the game, at least in Spurs' end, was taken off the pedal a little bit. And Bayern just kept pushing, kept prodding us, and got their goals. They probably should have scored more goals had it not been for some poor finishing maybe on their part. Because the goals that they did end up conceding were all very, very preventable mistakes, very preventable from us, from set pieces to Vicario's mistake. So it's really hard to judge with Ange because some of it is really on him. Also, some of it's really on the players individually, right? It's not just one thing or another. I think it's a huge mix of the two. And then in the second half, you see these guys that come on that all of a sudden are playing the way that Ange wants them to, are sustaining the effort levels that he would like. They are showing the hunger, the desire, all those things that you'd like to see from the team in these type of games right before the start of the Premier League season. And I think there are some tough kind of questions that need to be asked of the players individually, of the coaches. And then I think Ange is going to have to make some hard decisions about which players he can trust. Because I don't think he can trust Maddison any longer. I don't think he can trust Brennan Johnson any longer. And I will maintain this. I actually think Maddison and Johnson, both respectively, played a lot better today than they did in previous games. Is it still good enough? I don't think so. But it was a lot better than it was in previous games. It's just, can he really trust them going into this Premier League season where performances like this, where you are getting really exposed, it's not really sustainable. You will start having, a lot of pressure put on you. And we know a big club like Tottenham Hotspur, can only really kind of give you so much
Mm,
time, can really only give you so much leeway with that. It's not like a Bournemouth or something that we just got, Solanke from.
yeah.
And it's tough for me, Dave, because I think Ange, his system and his tactics look so much better in the second half when he does have players like Mikey Moore come on, when he does have guys like Bergvall come on and others in
Because
the
they're doing
team.
what they're supposed to.
Because they're
They're
doing
going
what they're
after the ball.
supposed to, exactly, and the effort levels are there, and
Yeah.
they seem to also just have a better understanding of where to move, where each other are, all those things that are important in this system. It's just, yeah,
One.
questions need to be asked of basically everyone after this performance, but they're also positives to take because at least we aren't hopeless when we see this. We
Mm,
actually have guys that can come on and make a difference and can save us, like Bergvall,
mm,
like Moore, like other guys in the team. And so it's hard thing to ask. Even, and then also you look at the defense, right? How much of it defensively are we being exposed by Ben Davies and Dragishin as kind of like the back line versus VDV and Romero, right? Is that a big concern?
mm.
I don't know, Dave. It's hard because there's a lot of positives to take from that second half, but there were some real concerns from the first as well.
Mm.
And
No, 100%. It's a bit of a weird one. Um, but look, I will say is that them concerns need to be addressed for next week. Because what you can't start doing is learning or addressing them on the job when you've had a whole preseason with the majority of your squad to be able to work on it. There's no excuses for it. Um, but one thing, my biggest takeaway from today is Ange Ball works from building out from the back, the ideas, the philosophy, and all. We've got players that can deal with that and that can do that now, no problem. That's been an issue in years gone by. It's not an issue anymore. Where our biggest issue now is out of possession. You have to have players that are willing to have that mongrel in them, work like a dog, go and chase shadows all day long. Should be no excuses for it because when you don't do that, is when it all completely unravels. It's why we see so much better in the second half because they're willing to go and make them 10, 15-yard sprints, willing to put that effort in to go and get it because they don't care about getting an injury. They realize it's their opportunity. You've got senior players who are like, well, I won't make that one because when we get the ball, I won't be able to make the 10, 15-yard run in possession. It's shocking. So my biggest takeaway from it is for this to fully work, minus the areas that he needs to work on with set pieces. You have to have guys willing to go and do the work out of possession.
yeah. Darkson G from earlier, though, and I think we were trying to say this, Darkson G. Sorry we didn't say it out loud earlier. You're saying these youngsters show fight, and that is what we want to see. I think the youngsters have been a revelation this preseason, and it's been my biggest takeaway from the preseason is that at least we do have youngsters that can come on and do
Mm,
what we're kind of asking for. And some of it is the basics, Darkson G, and also some of it is the real quality that we're actually looking for. They provided both these youngsters. They provided
mm,
more effort at times than some of the starters have and some of the regular first teamers. But then in some cases, they're providing even better quality than some of the first
mm,
teamers and some of the regular players that we'd seen from last season. So it's great to have them. It's much better than what it used to be. We kind of were just stuck with, we kind of had to, we were kind of stuck with what we had, right? Whichever players we started were sadly, in most cases, the best that we had to pick from. But now that's a hard
mm,
question to sort of answer. Is the starting 11 that we saw today, is that really, for the most part, the best players that we can pick from? I'm not even too sure because Bergvall is really pushing for places here. You also have Mikey Moore really pushing for places here. And
mm,
it's going to be tough to know which players Ange is going to trust and which one Ange is going to lean on for these upcoming games. And it's important to start strong as well in a Premier League season. You don't want to be the team that ends up, taking a while to get going because then the season and your hopes of finishing high up the table could be already lost. So it's
mm,
important that Ange finds the players that he can trust to play the right way and start the right way. And it's hard to know which
mm,
ones he'll go for and which ones he'll lean on. But the youngsters have given us a lot of good things to think about, and I do commend them for it. They play with a lot of confidence. They play with a lot of bravery. And it's everything that we could ask for, really, Dark Sun G from them. I'm very, very proud of them. And it makes it a special preseason, the fact that they have actually done this. I don't remember any preseason ever in my history as a Spurs fan where it's been like this with the youngsters. It really is a special, special class of them. And then Dark Sun G also saying Bergvall rejected Barcelona for us. It just shows his mentality. I'm glad to have Bergvall now, Dave. I don't think we ever could have known how good he was until he started playing in a Tottenham shirt. And yes, it's only preseason, but this is what we've had to work with, and the kid has just smashed it out of the
mm.
park with how he's played thus far.
No, 100%. He's been absolutely sensational. And what I like about Bergvall is he obviously fancied his chances of getting into the Tottenham team sooner than what he did Barcelona. He looked after his career. Sometimes as a young player, it's very easy to get swept up with the badge, the name, and all these great players of years gone by around you to try and coerce you to sign. But when you get there, then you realise the reality that you're so far away from it. Whereas I like kids that have a head on their shoulders and go, hang on here. I just don't want to be a guy or known as a kid that went to Barcelona, it didn't work out. I'm going to go to a team where I can actually develop myself and get them minutes. And, if he really wants to join Barcelona, he'll back himself to get there eventually. However, I just thought we can see him tie him down at Tottenham and keep him here. And he keeps delivering on the pitch. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Great signing, little money. It's something that Tottenham have always done well. Now we just need to get our big signings right.
And then Faz Radfar saying we were by far the better side in the second half. And that's what Dave and I are struggling with, Faz. Like, we looked so exposed in the first. And then in the second, we looked like we were pushing on to go on and tie the thing, if not win the whole thing in that second half. It's just, it's really hard for Dave and I to judge. I hate to say it. I wish it were made easier on us if we ended up being better for the whole game or being worse for the whole game, because then that would have just made it an easier game to judge. But it's so night and day, the first half versus the second, that it is really difficult to judge, with this one. But I am glad that we do have guys that can come on and make a difference, and we have guys that can come on and deliver what we are expecting and can save us from these sort of performances, from these potential embarrassments. And it's a good problem to have, I guess, to have so many young players that are so talented that can come on and make a difference like that. And Faz, if you were there in person, I think you were. Sorry that you had to see that first half and see the way that it ended, but it must be a revelation. It must be really fun to see these younger players making such an impact and giving us so much to think about and so much to praise. So there's a lot of positives to take from that second half for sure.
Yeah, no, big up Faz. A lot of positives to take. It's just trying to work out. Look, again, it's will Ange make them decisions as well. Let's wait and see, Faz. But hopefully you enjoyed your day out, my man.
And Jacob Bannister, one of the best names in the Spurs community, saying 2 inverted fullbacks does not work. Nobody does it. Listen, I mean, the inverted fullbacks might not technically work if it's not really done in the right and proper way. But to say that nobody else does it, I'm not so sure if I can agree with that, Jacob. And of course, you're welcome to disagree with me. But you even look at Arne Slot, who was just brought into the Premier League. He was doing inverted fullbacks, and we were going to bring him in at one point instead of an Ange Postecoglou, because that one guy that we were thinking about signing, I'm not sure if we still are going to sign him, but that guy Lutzaro Katroida, right, from Feyenoord, he's literally an inverted fullback that comes in and plays practically in defensive midfield for that team. And then you also look at back in the day when Pep Guardiola, he brought through, Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo was playing as like an inverted fullback at the left back position. There are managers that do it. There are managers that bring these guys into midfield. Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? He comes into midfield and plays in there. There are a lot of managers that think about moving their fullbacks more into midfield positions to help out and also to just do something a bit different tactically. To say it doesn't work, maybe in Ange's system it's not working at the moment in your eyes, but to say that it doesn't happen, that other managers don't do it, I have to technically disagree with you on that one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the inverted not only in possession? It's not like they're inverted and sitting in beside the centre backs when we're out of possession. They're out at the fullback areas. It's just they don't get enough pressure on the ball, in my opinion. They're there. They just don't get enough pressure on the ball. I think the inverted is more so in possession when you see a Doge picking up the ball going forward and making them inverted runs going forward. Same with Pedro Porro to a degree, but out of possession, it's not inverted. I think where the difficulty comes in is when you do make them runs forward as an inverted fullback, you then have to make long busting runs to get back and get back out there. And yes, sometimes that can be exposed, but I don't think it's our biggest defensive issue. I think what the issue is that we tend to send both of them forward rather than maybe the traditional get one to sit and the other one to go. That's the way it used to be. One would go, one would sit in and keep that tree at the back. I think that's more our issue than the actual inverted fullbacks. The inverted are only inverted when they're instructed to get forward.
Yeah. If you can understand, I see what you're saying, Jacob, where maybe right now it doesn't look like it's working and it looks like it's being exposed. But to say that no one else does it, I might have to disagree with that one. There are a lot of other managers who do a version of it in some sort of regard. As we're kind of going to be wrapping up the show, though, everybody, just want to say, and Dave did mention it before, but please send in your fan cams. If you have a difference of opinion, if you feel like there's something that we've said that maybe you might disagree with, or anything that you want to touch on further or anything like that, send in the fan cams if you are a fan show member. All the instructions should be there in the community section on the YouTube channel as well. So look out for that, please, everybody. And we'll get those up at some point today. And Dark Sun G is saying the dire effect for Bayern. Laugh my ass off. He plays, they struggle. If only he was on the pitch longer, great. Dark Sun G. That's what I think. If only he was on the pitch longer for them, and we probably would have had a better chance. Mikey Moore all of a sudden came alive. You know, that Eric Dyer was on his side, and Mikey Moore started, you know, coming alive there. So that would have been great. But at the end of the day, it was nice to see us put in, you know, a much better performance in the second half. You know, Dark Sun G was much better. But thank you for the support today as well, sir. And I'm looking forward to another fun season with you, Dark Sun G, full of roller coasters, full of tough answers, full of tough problems, you know, difficult ones to judge like this game, and lots of positives and lots of concerns to take, as per usual sometimes with the Spurs game. But we really do appreciate you, man, for usually also kind of looking for some of the positives, even better than we do, I think, Dark Sun G. I think you do a better job than even I do. And I label myself as a happy clapper, and you even do it better than I do. Not saying the happy clapping part, but looking for certain good things to take from a game. And I really appreciate that about you, Dark Sun G. You've been very good at that whenever you analyze a game.
And just quickly on Dyer, you know, it's absolutely great. He's also brought the non-trophies, you know, ritual with him to Bayern as well, which is absolutely fantastic to see. You know, only really unraveled when he went there in January. So, you know, it's absolutely great to see Dark Sun G. You know, big yourself up though. But guys, a lot to dissect this week. A hell of a lot to dissect. These are my final words. Hell of a lot to dissect this week. You know, there's a lot of questions that really need to be asked. We'll be here all week with plenty of shows, plenty of content for you guys. Channel predictions will be back. Season predictions will be back. So make sure you look out for them this week. Fan show as well at the start of the week. Make sure you get on there and have your say. And lastly, I want to say a massive thank you for the immense support. The last few weeks, it's been absolutely crazy. Really appreciate it, guys. And hopefully we can have a decent season this season together. More ups than there is downs. Are we ready for the season? That remains to be answered. But that starts next Monday night. And regardless, I am going to be excited for it. And I cannot wait. So hopefully we'll see you all then, guys.
Please, everybody, send in your fan cams if you want to have your say on things. Also, take advantage of Rakdos Madness, as well as Brian Dempsey's support from earlier with the fan show gifts. Please take advantage of that. Last fan show before the season actually begins. Fan shows are going to be weekly, of course, but if you want to get in your early say before anything actually happens, before any balls are kicked in the Premier League, please come on, make your debut, and have your say with us. Looking forward to that fan show. And then also looking forward to a fun week of content. The Flat Cap Fantasy will be coming out. Other versions of the fantasy coming out. Members content is going to be officially published by Dave and I. I promise we will get it done. It's just we've been pulling a bit of a Daniel Levy and taking our time trying to do it last minute window. Only kidding. We've been very busy with a bunch of stuff, but we will get that situated and we'll get that finalized next week for you guys. And just thanks for the immense support, and looking forward to another crazy season, as it usually is with Spurs. And thanks for riding the roller coasters with us. Thanks for picking us as your watch-along destination. And looking forward to many more with you guys. Thanks for the immense support today. Looking forward to many more. If you can, first smash the like button. Tell a friend about the channel. Tell somebody who's also a Spurs fan looking for a community that this isn't a bad one to go by. This isn't a bad one to have. And looking forward to a long and hopefully fun season with you guys.
As always, guys, come on, you Spurs. And I don't care what people say. Still in hands we trust. We never stop.
We never stop. See you guys.